What's going on, guys? JSGC here, and we are here for another Manchester City live watch along. Today, we're going to be doing the live watch along of Manchester City's game, where we're going to be taking on Chelsea away in the Premier League. Manchester City had the pleasure last weekend of having a lot of the teams around us dropping points. Doesn't seem to be the case for this weekend, so it does mean that Manchester City need to go out there and put in a good performance and get a good result here against Chelsea. So before we do crack on with this live watch along, make sure, like always, if you are enjoying the content, then do subscribe to my channel. Press that red button, press the bell, and put your push notifications on. We are aiming for 33,000 subscribers, so any help towards that would be much appreciated. Also, don't forget social media links there in the description if you want to go and follow me on my Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. Email also in the description too if you want to hit me up for any sponsorships for any videos or any general business inquiries. Don't forget to leave a thumbs up if you are enjoying the live watch along. Remember, always aiming for 100 likes. We're already on to 18 likes, so we're just 82 likes away from 100 likes, so any help towards that would be much appreciated. Also, don't forget as well to leave your thoughts in the live chat, including where you're tuning in from today from around the world and also your score prediction for this game. We've already got Fardos in on the chat. Nice to see you as well. Thank you very much for tuning in. Much appreciated. We've also got Clinical in the chat as well, saying big up JSGC. Love that one. Thank you so much for tuning in once more. And we've also got Teddy tuning in as well. Much appreciated. Thank you so much for that. So we do have team news out for this game. We're going to start off. I'll share my screen in a second. We're going to start off first by speaking about our opponents for today, which is Chelsea away at Stamford Bridge. This isn't going to be an easy game for Manchester City. I don't want people to be blinded from Chelsea's result that they managed to get against Tottenham Hotspur on Monday night. They won 4-1 away from home. Brilliant victory, yes. Does it concern me? No, because I don't think that result happens if Tottenham Hotspur have 11 men on the pitch. And the key to that game was Tottenham Hotspur not getting just one player, but getting two players sent off. And so that's going to have big implications on that game. I think if City can keep their discipline here, keep things nice and tight, then we can find an outlet to keep Chelsea out, to create our own opportunities, to push on from there and to win this game. And I'm confident City can go and do that. So I'm going to share my screen. I'm going to go around the teams. We're going to have a look first at our opponents, Chelsea. And we're going to see what they're going with because they've made a very interesting call, actually, that I do want to get my teeth into. Now, I do apologize. I wasn't feeling well in my last live stream. Not feeling too great in this live stream either, so if I need to turn away to cough or anything, but I do apologize for that. I've got one. I can feel one coming on very soon as well, but I'm trying my best just to hold that off. So I've got 3 drinks here to keep myself nice and hydrated, so that isn't the case. So just having a look at the odds, very interesting first and foremost. Away match against Chelsea. Who would have thought a decade ago Manchester City come into an away match and we have Chelsea at 3.5 to 1 to win this game, 7-2. Manchester City firm favourites, 4-3 on to win this game. A draw at 14-5. I'm going with the favourites, Manchester City, to win this game. Excuse me. So our opponents for today, Chelsea. They're lining up with Robert Sanchez in goal. They're going with a back four. Reece James, captain in Chelsea today, going alongside Disasi, Thiago Silva, and the big call, Marc Cucurella. He comes into the team ahead, and as you can see from the bench, nowhere to be seen, is Levi Colwill. Now, Colwill's just been called up to the England national team ahead of, because after this game, it is the international break again for another couple of weeks. So he's not in the squad, so he must have an injury. So I wonder what that means for England first and foremost. But a big decision there is on the left-hand side with that back four. Reece James, quick, pretty powerful. Marc Cucurella, different kind of defender, looking like he's going to be going toe-for-toe with one of Phil Foden or Bernardo Silva. Cucurella likes to get forward and create opportunities. So that right-hand side could be something that Man City choose to target. I think I'd like to have seen this man, Jeremy Doku, going on the right wing and having a good pop at Marc Cucurella. Interesting battle there for Reece James and Jeremy Doku, though. We'll see how that materialises over the course of the next 90 minutes. In midfield for Chelsea, going with the usual three of Enzo Fernandez, Moises Caicedo and Conor Gallagher. Same midfield that went against Spurs away from home. And the same attack as well. Cole Palmer enjoying good form, carrying on his good form from where he left off with Manchester City at the beginning of the season. We sold him to Chelsea just before transfer deadline day for £40 million. And he headed out to Chelsea, and he's continued to kick on from there. And a danger for Manchester City to look out for, and someone that our defence needs to be wary of. Raheem Sterling, again, he's got pace for days. We know this being a former Manchester City man, and another player that played for Manchester City that was sold to Chelsea, and another danger man that needs to be kept quiet. Chelsea will be looking to try and exploit Manchester City's high line. Tottenham Hotspur went with a high line. Chelsea exploited that. They did have 9 men on the field, so it'll be interesting to see how this game weighs up with Manchester City's approach. We're going to have 11 men on the pitch to start with, and hopefully if we keep our discipline, we'll keep 11 men, and I'm confident, as I said, that we're going to be able to come out and get the 3 points. Jackson starting up top fresh from his hat-trick against Chelsea, and he really could have had a double hat-trick, really. He didn't have his shooting boots on. On the bench for Chelsea, you've got Badiashile, you've got Mudryk, Madueke, Ugo Chukwu, Broha, Gusto, Petrovic, Martson, and Matos as well. So a little bit of quality there on the bench. A couple of young players as well. To me, Chelsea don't have as strong a depth as what Manchester City have. However, as you can see, City again not naming a full substitute bench from the availability that we have. And that's down to a couple of injuries. De Bruyne injured. Nathan Ake, he's picked up an injury. John Stones, he's out injured as well. We've not had clarification yet on when De Bruyne is going to be back, on how long John Stones is out for, and what the injury is to Nathan Ake, and how long he's going to be out for as well. So Manchester City haven't named a full substitute bench once more, and we've even got a couple of goalkeepers on there as well to make up the numbers. And I'm not too sure why City don't just go to the academy and pick out a couple of the good, high-quality young players and put them on the bench and make up the numbers that way. You never know. Man City, maybe not in this game, but in other games, could be 2-3-0 up, heading into the 80th minute. You could chuck a couple of young players on, make the debut, promote the academy a little bit more, and you never know. You may just find a couple of hidden gems there as well. And the Man City have got an abundance of quality in the academy, even though we sold a lot of players in the summer. So I think that could be an option that City could pursue. And I think the choosing to make the statement by not naming a full bench and saying, actually, we haven't got that depth that we're looking for, rather than going with the young players, which is what everybody else seems to do. But there we go. Anyway, moving on to your Manchester City starting 11 for today. We're starting in goal, Ederson. It's going to be a back three made up of Kyle Walker on the right-hand side, captain in Manchester City today. Ruben Dias is going to go through the middle, and Josko Gvardiol is going to be going on the left-hand side with Nathan Ake out injured. I am pleased to say, because there was a bit of doubt over Manuel Akanji, and his fitness has recovered from his illness, his back injury. He's back for Manchester City, and he's going to go into that John Stones role, which is what we've seen a lot in the beginning parts of the season when we didn't have John Stones available. And it's good news that Akanji, is back for Manchester City, because there was a bit of a selection headache had Akanji not been fit, who City could have gone for. Nathan Ake was going to be one of them options. However, with him being out injured, he wouldn't have been the option. And actually, you look towards Manchester City's bench, and the only real option Manchester City would have had, because I don't think would have gone with Kalvin Phillips, would have been for Rico Lewis to start this game. But with Akanji coming back, Rico Lewis drops to the bench, which I think is a bit harsh, because Rico Lewis has looked very fresh and looked high of quality for Manchester City as well, and is unlucky to miss out in the starting 11. Alongside Akanji then in midfield, he's going to have Rodri, and then further ahead of him, I reckon it's going to be Phil Foden going through the middle with Julian Alvarez, which it does mean that Matheus Nunes put in a good performance against Young Boys at home in the Champions League on Tuesday night. He drops to the bench, and also seeing this player here, former Chelsea man Mateo Kovacic, on the bench as well for Manchester City. Out wide, I think it's going to be Bernardo Silva on the right wing, Jeremy Doku on the left wing, and Erling Haaland starting up top for Manchester City. Do remember, it could be Phil Foden that goes in on the right wing and Bernardo Silva drops into defence. You could see Phil Foden go on the left and Jeremy Doku go on the right-hand side. City may want to alternate that during phases and during certain periods of the game. Remains to be seen, but a good, strong team that from Manchester City. And I'm confident, nice attacking lineup. We can go out there, score goals and win this game. On the bench for City then, we've got Kalvin Phillips, Mateo Kovacic, Jack Grealish, Stefan Ortega-Moreno, Matheus Nunes, Scott Carson, Oscar Bobb, and Rico Lewis. Decent team, decent squad that from Manchester City. And my score prediction for today, I still think it's going to be a tight one. I think City win this game, though, by 2-1. Is my score prediction. Do let me know your score predictions in the live chat. Pleased to see more people tuning in. Teddy going for a 4-0 victory today for Manchester City. Thanks very much to David as well for tuning in. Much appreciated. Teddy going for a 3-2 win for Chelsea today. And Dad, thanks very much for tuning in. Says he's going for a 2-1 win to Manchester City and giving 5 points on the all-important Super 6 as well, which I'm going to have a look at my Super 6. I'm hoping I've put 2-1 to Manchester City as well. So I'm just going to get that one checked over. So I went for, just get my Super 6 because I'm checking how I did actually on the previous ones. I need to check my bet mate as well. Oh, excuse me. So I'm unorganized. I've not had the best of starts. 6 points, and I have gone with 2-1 to Manchester City. So there we go. 2-1 Manchester City. I'm on 6 points. A win for City by 2-1 gives me 5 points. 11 points for the round, which isn't too shabby, if you ask me. Thanks very much to Chris for tuning in, going for a 3-1 victory to Manchester City. Clinical going for a 3-0 victory to Manchester City and reckons we'll be able to keep a clean sheet as well. I do hope you are right. That would be absolutely fantastic. Dad saying, hoping you have, so that I can't go over him as well. You'll be pleased to hear that I've also gone for 2-1 to Manchester City. Rightio, just having a very quick check of my bet mates. I do normally go for a builder bet, but I'm going to leave out my builder bets because my betting this season at the moment's just been terrible, and I feel like I'm wasting money. So, excuse me, I'm sticking with not doing that to save myself from the embarrassment of not being able to win my bets. So, yeah, looking forward to this one. Should be a good game of football. Manchester City in good form, top of the Premier League. No matter what happens here today, we're going to stay top of the Premier League unless we get absolutely trounced by Chelsea today. Then Liverpool have the potential to go top, with Liverpool having a swing at the start of play of a 6-goal difference. They need Manchester City here to lose by 4 for Liverpool to have a better goal difference and for them to go top. Arsenal also on 27 points and Man City having that superior goal difference. And I'm going back to what I said during City's game against AFC Bournemouth and how important it was that Man City start to build up that goal difference if it's there available for the taking. And I'm not suggesting here that this is an opportunity for Man City to get their goal difference up, but Chelsea currently find themselves in 11th place in the bottom half. If Man City can get off to a nice quick start, grab a couple of goals before half time, we're in dreamland. We can't afford to be coasting. We need to keep pushing, keep trying to get them 3 points. They're the most important matter. But at the end of the day, come the end of the season, when it comes to achieving our objectives, it is all about picking up them 3 points and putting yourself in the best position possible. And we may finish level on points with an Arsenal or a Spurs or a Liverpool. And so not only a head-to-heads against these teams, very important, but goal difference could be crucial as well. And we've already lost against Arsenal away from home. We've got Chelsea away from home here. When we come back after the international break, our next game, it's Liverpool. So it's going to be first place taking on second place, you would think, in the Premier League. Big game. We follow that up with a match against Spurs, who have been in good form, lost the last couple of games, though, and all of a sudden find themselves pushing a title threat to all of a sudden find themselves in 4th place. But they're still only a point behind us. Big game as well. And then Aston Villa, who are in 5th place. So we're facing 2nd, 3rd, and 5th in our next 3 games after this game. And to me, Chelsea, I think, is the easiest of the 3 games. I know we've got a couple of home games against Liverpool and Spurs, and obviously we're the home team, we're the favourites for that game, but they're not going to be very easy games at all. How Tottenham play and how Liverpool play suit, in my opinion, playing away from home against Manchester City. The pressure is on Manchester City. If it was at Anfield, I'd say Liverpool really need them 3 points. If it was at Spurs' stadium, I'd say Spurs really need the 3 points. But considering them 2 games are at the Etihad, Man City need them 3 points. We know what it takes to get them 3 points. We've been there, done that, worn the T-shirt. I'm confident that we can get the job done. So we will see. Hopefully, as I said, we can pick up the 3 points. I'm going for a 2-1 victory today to Manchester City. It wouldn't surprise me at all if Man City turn up and put Chelsea to the sword and score 3 or 4 goals here. It wouldn't also surprise me if Chelsea managed to keep this one nice and tight and come away with a result from this game, potentially even a win. Fine margins, need to be clinical in front of goal. So we'll see where we go from there. John, thanks so much for tuning in. Much appreciated. Do hope you are well. So we've already had some full-time scores in the Premier League so far today. Aston Villa have continued their brilliant home form with another victory, 3-1 at home against Fulham. Brighton won, Sheffield United won. Brighton just don't seem to be able to get going so far this season. They're a little bit like Newcastle. They pick up a good result here and there, pick up a couple of bad results here and there, and it's just stalling their progress. And that's why they're just lingering behind. At the moment, Brighton, they're 6 points behind Aston Villa after 12 games. Newcastle, they're 5 points behind Aston Villa after 12 games. And they're trailing in terms of Champions League spots as well. So difficult times for Brighton, dropping points at home against Sheffield United. You saw Newcastle yesterday lose by a couple of goals against AFC Bournemouth away from home, where Kieran Trippier went over to the fans and confronted them, blaming injuries. Very finely poised parts of the season for them 2 clubs as well. Liverpool picked up a 3-0 victory over Brentford. Pretty straightforward home win there, made easy work of Brentford, which is easier said than done. Brentford are a good team, and West Ham in a topsy-turvy game. That was the other game being broadcast live here today in the UK, was West Ham taking on Nottingham Forest. West Ham took the lead early on through Lucas Paqueta. Nottingham Forest equalised just before half-time, and then Elanga gave Nottingham Forest a lead, and then less than, I think it was 80 seconds later, Jared Bowen got West Ham an equaliser, and Thomas Susek has managed to, in the 88th minute, grab a winner for West Ham as well, picking up 3 points there for David Moyes' men. And Nottingham Forest, they're still down in 15th, and West Ham have managed to force their way forward and into the top half, sitting in 9th place. And all you've got taking place now is Chelsea taking on Manchester City, 4:30 p.m. GMT, big game in the Premier League. You do have some other full-time results that have happened earlier on today. In the Women's Super League, Manchester United have beaten West Ham by 5-0. Spurs drew with Liverpool 1-1. Everton lost at home against Chelsea 3-0. Bristol City lost at home to Aston Villa 2-0. You've got Leicester City taking on Arsenal at 6:45 p.m. GMT, which is live in the UK on Sky Sports, just like this game. I presume it follows this game. And finally, Manchester City's women's side have had some action today in a home match against Brighton and Hove Albion, which the City ladies, unfortunately, have lost that game by 1-0. You do also have some games happening north of the border, up in Scotland. Livingston took on Rangers here on Remembrance Sunday, with Rangers having a big poppy display and banner, with Rangers winning that game by 2-0. Celtic, in response at the top of the SPFL, have played Aberdeen at Parkhead, which currently in the 97th minute is Celtic 5, Aberdeen 0. And once again, you've got Celtic and Rangers running away with it in first and second place. Celtic with a game in hand, currently 8 points ahead of Rangers at the top in what is an ever so competitive league in Scotland. You have also had matches taking place in the Women's Championship today, Women's FA Cup as well. Just go and check out the latest scores if you want to, because there's a lot of games to go through, and lots of them that haven't filtered around. In La Liga, Barcelona playing at home against Alaves, currently losing in the 49th minute. You got Sevilla taking on Real Betis, and Atletico Madrid taking on Villarreal later on today. In Germany, Bayer Leverkusen are beating Union Berlin 4-0 at home. You got Werder Bremen taking on Eintracht Frankfurt at 4:30 p.m. GMT, and 2 hours later at 6:30 p.m. GMT, you've got Leipzig taking on Freiburg. Over to Italy and Serie A, Napoli, they've lost to Empoli by 1-0 at home, and a big result and a big shock there in Italy. Fiorentina have beaten Bologna at home 2-1 Udinese Atlanta in Udinese's finished 1-1. You got the big Rome derby, Lazio taking on Roma at 5 p.m. GMT taking place. Hopefully no Lions going to disrupt that game. I know one had escaped from a circus in Rome over the last 24 hours, and you've got Inter Milan at 7:45 p.m. GMT taking on Frosinone at the San Siro. You've also had games taking place in France. Full-time results: Clermont 1, Lorient 0, Lille 1, Toulouse 1, Metz 3, Nantes 1. Currently, you've got Rennes taking on Lyon, which is 0-0 in the 21st minute, and you've got Lens taking on Marseille at 7:45 p.m. GMT. Over to the Eredivisie, PSV have beaten PEC Zwolle 4-0 at home. Almere City 2, Ajax 2's also finished in what is Ajax continuing to be pretty poor so far this season. Volendam 1, Sparta Rotterdam 4 is also a full-time result. You got Feyenoord taking on AZ Alkmaar, currently 1-0 Feyenoord. And you got Utrecht taking on Excelsior at 7 p.m. GMT. Finally, heading over to Portugal, half-time. Boa Vista 0, Farense 1, and Gil Vicente 0, Rio Ave 0. You also got Arouca taking on Sporting Braga at 6 p.m. GMT, and you got Benfica taking on Sporting Club de Portugal, a Lisbon derby there at 8:30 p.m. GMT. But heading back over to the big smoke, to London, to the United Kingdom, to England for the Premier League, it's Manchester City in action away from home against Chelsea. It's Mauricio Pochettino and Chelsea taking on Pep Guardiola's men in Manchester City. Chris, thanks so much for tuning in. Much appreciated. Do enjoy the game, and thanks for tuning in and popping in and saying hello. Julia, thank you very much for tuning in. Much appreciated once more. Julia, a fan of Chelsea's Liquidator song. So, Manchester City, if you weren't aware, starting 11 for today. Manchester City going with Ederson in goal. It is a back three made up of Kyle Walker, captain in the side. You've also got Ruben Dias at centre-back with Josko Gvardiol going in at left-back. Manuel Akanji is going to partner Rodri in defensive midfield. Further ahead of them, you've got Phil Foden and also Julian Alvarez. Out wide on the right wing, I presume is going to be Bernardo Silva. On the left wing, Jeremy Doku given the nod ahead of Jack Grealish in one of the biggest calls so far this season, really. It's a big call. Do you go with the extra defensive cover, Jack Grealish, like we did at Old Trafford, or do you go with the explosive Doku? For this game, we want to attack. We'll go with the explosive Doku and Erling Haaland starting up top. Dave, thanks very much for tuning in. Going for a 1-0 victory for Manchester City for this game. As I said, it is Remembrance Sunday, so we are going to have a moment's silence in 1 second. Trumpets and the poppy wreath making their way out onto the middle. So we're going to be quiet here on the JSGC channel to pay respects to that. Excellently observed that by the crowd. Manchester City then playing in their sky blue shirts today, their home shirts, sky blue shirts, white shorts, sky blue socks. Chelsea playing in their home strips of navy blue shirts. So you've got the Battle of the Blues. Navy blue taking on sky blue. Chelsea taking on Manchester City. Chelsea going to be attacking from right to left, with City attacking from left to right. Chelsea playing in the navy blue shirts and shorts with white socks. Referee just having a word there with Captain Kyle Walker for Manchester City. Both teams ready to go. Chelsea are going to get us underway for this game. And Chelsea do get us underway for this game. So Reece James got the ball, just working it backwards. Goes back to Sanchez, sends it long, and Kyle Walker doesn't make the interception, and Conor Gallagher can release Enzo Fernandez. He can play a ball forward. Here's Jackson inside the Manchester City penalty area. Now Reece James goes with an early shot and a good block there by Josko Gvardiol, and out for a throw into Chelsea near halfway. An early test there for Manchester City. An early work. Chelsea wanting to make their presence known and get off to a nice quick start. Big battle happening on that right-hand side for Chelsea, the left wing for Manchester City. Reece James going up against Jeremy Doku. Here's Thiago Silva now. Receives a pass from Disasi. Cucurella. As we're now on to 27 likes, so thank you so much for everybody that's left a thumbs up so far. Much appreciated. Do leave a thumbs up. We are aiming for 100 likes, so we're now 73 likes away, so any help towards that would be much appreciated. Do subscribe as well. You can go check out my social media links and everything. They're all in the description. That would be much appreciated. Chelsea seeing a lot more of the ball. Good flick that from Jackson from a pass from Conor Gallagher towards Raheem Sterling. And Ederson manages to receive a ball from Kyle Walker that got there ahead of Raheem Sterling from that received pass from Jackson. Kyle Walker goes back to Ederson under pressure and has to work it to the left-hand side and accurately still finds his pass to Josko Gvardiol. He's got support of Manuel Akanji. He doesn't use him. He uses Bernardo Silva instead. He finds a flick which Chelsea can win back. Here's Enzo Fernandez then. A very quick pace start to this game. Cole Palmer on the right wing for Chelsea, just working it backwards. A couple of minutes in at Stamford Bridge, and that's a poor giveaway from Cole Palmer. Needs to remember he doesn't play for Manchester City anymore. Gave the ball to Erling Haaland, and Haaland cannot capitalise upon that. Got two teams that like possession. I like that. City averaging the most possession in the Premier League so far this season with just over 63%. Chelsea averaging just under 62%. Someone's going to be left disappointed. It may be a 50-50 this one, a 51-49 or a 52-48. City the best out there with the ball at their feet. Akanji wins the header to Jeremy Doku in a good position here. Works the ball to Julian Alvarez. A chip ball up to Bernardo Silva's control. He's under pressure from Cole Palmer. Bernardo Silva now takes a touch off Cole Palmer, and it comes off the thigh of Bernardo Silva, and that'll go out for a goal kick to Chelsea. Here's Enzo Fernandez, then works it to Raheem Sterling. And a good interception that from Phil Foden. He goes down under a challenge there from Marc Cucurella. Referee blows his whistle, and that'll be a free kick to Manchester City just inside their own half. Long ball gets played across. Reece James finds the header. But that'll go out of play for a throw into Manchester City. Chelsea seem to have settled into this game a little bit quicker than what Manchester City have. It's Manuel Akanji then. Burst forward for Manchester City under pressure from Conor Gallagher. And Chelsea get the advantage here under a challenge from Rodri. Here's Raheem Sterling up against Kyle Walker. He wants to go with the overlap, finds the overlap with Marc Cucurella, and that's a good toe on it from Phil Foden. That'll be a corner to Chelsea, the first corner of this game. Some early work here for Manchester City. Look well up for this. Cole Palmer puts a corner in. Not the best of corners, and collected by Ederson in goal. And he'll just throw this one out to the left, and Bernardo Silva will build up from the back here for Manchester City. Erling Haaland had made a nice direct run through the middle, but Bernardo chooses to keep possession and keep hold of the ball instead and floats the ball over to Ruben Dias now. Finds a pass to Rodri. Work to the right. Foden goes to Alvarez, plays a ball across. Takes a deflection from a Chelsea man, and Chelsea can come away with the ball. Andy, thanks very much for tuning in. Stood at York Station, waiting for Alisson. How have we started? Chelsea have started the better team. City look a bit unsettled. Raheem Sterling coming forward now. Plays a ball to Jackson, and it doesn't link up well. Yeah, Andy and Alisson, do hope you are well, and hopefully Alisson will turn up very soon. Waiting at York Station. Hopefully keep him warm as well. It's pretty cold out there at the moment. City just slowing the possession down. I think they just want to try and get to grips with the game that way. Chelsea just seemingly looking like they want to attack. Reminds me a little bit of like a game at Anfield where you just got to be patient. Well, we're not too great at matches at Anfield, as Kyle Walker plays a ball off Marc Cucurella, and that'll go out for Manchester City's first corner. So one corner apiece so far. 6.5 minutes in here at Stamford Bridge, 0-0. Julian Alvarez on the corner. His corners for City at the moment, I don't think have been too great. Hopefully, he can put one on the money here. Erling Haaland and Akanji, Rodri, Dias, all forward here for City. Josko Gvardiol as well. Foden waiting for support. Doku waiting for support. Referee just having a word with the defenders and attackers about pushing, shoving, and grappling. And it continues there between Ruben Dias and Disasi. It continues in front of the referee as well. And Disasi just continues to have a pop at Ruben Dias, and Akanji goes down in the box, and it's a poor corner from Julian Alvarez once more. Low and flat. And Chelsea spring the counter-attack. Here's Jackson up against Kyle Walker. He's not going to win that foot race. Plays the ball back to Ederson. Not the greatest of passes from Ederson, and Cole Palmer was interested in that from Akanji, but read well by Akanji, and he can play the pass under pressure out to Kyle Walker, and nearly intercepted Conor Gallagher, furious with himself that he couldn't find the interception, and Julian Alvarez can work it to Rodri, which is floated over to the left, and Bernardo Silva just can't get a touch onto it, and City just seem a little bit rattled at the moment. Manchester City fan, thanks for tuning in. I prefer this top, so I went with this one. I haven't got it, it's just to the side. I prefer this one, though, if I'm honest. But it feels nicer and looks nicer. I mean, the last season's shirts is one of the best that City have ever done, if I'm honest. And it holds a real sentimental value, of course, with City winning the treble and achieving everything they wanted to achieve last season. A little bit like the 2012 home shirt, as you can see just behind me. Microphone's just blocking it, so I'll just move it out of the way. Champions 12 holds its own memories. Is Ruben Dias now to Julian Alvarez, and City just starting to see more of the ball. And he certainly does, dedicated to Colin Bell, the shirt. It's one of my favourites. I genuinely just think it's one of my favourites. Ball played over to the right-hand side. Phil Foden can't get that under control, and that'll be a throw into Chelsea, and that's twice now that we've had that. Chelsea are clearly giving instructions out to the ball boys. They are lobbing them balls onto the pitch to get the play back underway as quickly as possible. So clearly Chelsea looking for, if they've got it in deeper areas, to play the ball as quickly as possible. That's not a good pass from Cucurella, and that's a throw into City now, just outside Chelsea's penalty area. Here is Kyle Walker. Throws it towards Erling Haaland, intercepted well by Thiago Silva. It's getting a bit scrappy, this. Erling Haaland wins that back. Foden under pressure. He takes a touch and he gets a throw in for City. Right by the corner flag. 10 minutes in here at Stamford Bridge. 0-0. Kyle Walker with the throw in. Throws it to Foden. He can take the touch this time and works it across to Josko Gvardiol. Here is Jeremy Doku now up against Reece James. An exciting battle that we're looking forward to. Just squares it across after turning. Looking for Foden. Doesn't work. Akanji stays back and makes the interception. Chelsea clearly just looking to try and spring them counter-attacks. And that was good work from Akanji, considering we haven't got Kyle Walker back at the moment. So should Jackson get a touch on that, and he'd be away. He'd be up against Diaz and Akanji, who aren't half as quick as what Kyle Walker can be. Good ball from Gvardiol down the flank to Jeremy Doku inside the Chelsea half. Akanji now popping up everywhere at the moment. Manuel Akanji playing in that Johnny Stones role for City today. It's interesting to see Akanji going more on that left-hand side and Rodri to the right. Normally when we have John Stones playing, John Stones goes through the centre and you see Rodri tilting more towards the left-hand side. So it's like roles reversed, really. 11 minutes in, still 0-0 here. Still waiting for the first big chance. Chelsea showed their attacking intent after 5 or 6 minutes. City's distribution hasn't been the best, but are growing more into the game and demonstrated there by Ederson. Playing a long ball over the top, looking for Phil Foden. Doesn't work, and out of play for a throw into Chelsea. And Cucurella plays a ball off Alvarez and out for another throw into Chelsea here. Here is Enzo Fernandez. Plays a ball back to Sanchez. Takes the touch under pressure from Haaland. Just dinks it into the channel. Reece James is there to receive. And a heavy pass, but won well by Reece James. And Cole Palmer's away here inside the Manchester City half. Into the penalty area on the right-hand side. Wants to get onto his left foot. Does get onto his left foot. And Akanji gets a really good block away. But won back by Reece James once more. Here's Cole Palmer. Colin Gallagher chips one over. Header won there well by Akanji. And that's a dangerous header from Rodri, heading it back to the keeper under pressure from Cole Palmer. Cole Palmer's not a small player. And Ederson does really well and comes out and claims that ball. Good work that from Manuel Akanji. Really good work. I've been impressed with Akanji so far. Really impressed. It's a dangerous header from Rodri. He had the chance there just to get that ball clear, and he doesn't. He heads it back into danger. Here's Akanji then to Josko Gvardiol, Ruben Dias. Back to Rodri. Akanji. He had the run of Alvarez. He doesn't use him. He uses Foden instead. It's pin perfect, and Foden's touch takes the ball slightly away from him, so he's forced wide by Marc Cucurella, and he has to go back to Kyle Walker. Good defending that from Marc Cucurella. Eventually, the ball just worked back to Ruben Dias at the back. 13 minutes in, 0-0. City still yet to have their first shot in this game. Ball gets played over to the left-hand side, and it's too much on it for Jeremy Doku to keep in. And out of play for a throw-in to Chelsea. There we go. Drink 1 of 3 done. The next one in. Foden nearly gets an interception. Poor touch from Conor Gallagher means he can complete that interception for City. And Kyle Walker will work this to Akanji. Erling Haaland having to drop deep to allow Man City to keep hold of possession. And it also brought Disasi out of position then. Not utilised by City, and play just continues, and Jeremy Doku receives a ball from Ruben Dias. There's a lot of balls being played over the top. City are struggling with their control, and it looks like a very tight, narrow pitch. Has that Chelsea pitch got a little bit smaller? I've said it before, and I'm going to say it again. I'm getting Anfield vibes off how close the play is to the pitch and how small it looks. City just struggle a little bit with the distribution. They don't normally. And Doku goes for the near post cross, dealt with in the end by Disasi, and out for a throw into Manchester City. Excuse me. 15th minute then, through the first phase of the game, 0-0. Very careful game being played here by Manchester City. Here is Ruben Dias to Bernardo Silva. Jeremy Doku gives the ball to Akanji. Back to Bernardo Silva. Akanji once more. Gets forward, takes a touch off Conor Gallagher. He's a walking yellow card, isn't he, Conor Gallagher? And a free kick given to Manchester City. Don't forget, if you are enjoying the content, do subscribe. That'd be much appreciated. And also don't forget as well to leave a thumbs up. Now, just 67 likes away from 100 likes. Bernardo Silva stood over this free kick then for Manchester City. Just takes it short. Josko Gvardiol had a chance to put a ball into the box. The fact that City haven't committed any of the big men forward tells me that the ball was never going to go into the box. Here's Rodri. He's got Julian Alvarez to use as a pass. He uses him. Alvarez may go for the back post here. Haaland was flirting with that. Ready for a ball to be pulled across. Cucurella reads it. And out for a corner to Manchester City. Can Alvarez's ball into the box be any better this time? "16 minutes in, Alvarez then with a corner. Goes really deep. Header won by City, and Ruben Dias convinced of a handball. Josko Gvardiol, no appeal from him, who wins the header. Good header won. I'm not too sure what Ruben Dias is appealing for. I don't like there's any arms used. Enzo Fernandez put under pressure from his Argentinian teammate Julian Alvarez. Enzo Fernandez sees that off though and plays a wonderful ball across to Reece James. There aren't many players out there that play for other Premier League teams that I think I'd quite like them at City, but Enzo Fernandez is a player I'd love at Manchester City. I think he'd have prospered. Robert Sanchez, poor ball out, throwing to Manchester City there, midway inside the Chelsea half. Lack of communication, a poor ball, a bit of both, I'm not sure. Pochettino doesn't exactly look pleased about that. Needlessly given away that by Chelsea, and throwing here for City, going to be taken by Kyle Walker. He's got Phil Foden for support, still waiting for the ball to come back into play. He throws it longer towards Haaland, intercepted by Thiago Silva. In the end, won by Manchester City. Julian Alvarez under pressure from Conor Gallagher wins the ball back. And a poor pass by Enzo Fernandez, nearly intercepted by Rodri. In the end, Reece James can come away with it, works it to the right-hand side, and a good touch by Cole Palmer. Plays it down the flank, looking for Jackson, intercepted well by Manuel Akanji, and out for a throw into Chelsea. Cole Palmer takes the throw into Reece James. Disasi to Thiago Silva. Conor Gallagher works it to the left. Raheem Sterling. Not really seeing much of Chelsea's attacks on this left-hand side. Not really seeing Raheem Sterling involved that much, to be honest. Reece James has the ball on the right. Finds a pass to Cole Palmer. Jeremy Doku needs to get back and manages to and forces Cole Palmer to turn back and go to Reece James. He finds a pass to Moises Caicedo, and it falls nicely to Conor Gallagher, and he has the first meaningful effort on goal. Strikes it well. It's straight at Ederson, though, and Ederson has a very comfortable save to make there. Good touch that by Conor Gallagher. I think he just wants to... It sits nicely for him, so I'm going to have a shot. Sees the headlines. Doesn't make bad connection. Just doesn't have the direction. It's straight at the keeper. Testing the hands of Ederson. Comfortable save for the City number one. And it remains 0-0 after 19 minutes here at Stamford Bridge. Here is Ruben Dias then. Works the ball backwards to Rodri. Back to Ruben Dias once more. He's got Akanji further ahead of him. He's got Josko Gvardiol for support. Goes down that left-hand side. Gvardiol put under pressure by former City man Cole Palmer, so he just goes back to Ederson. Under no pressure, just plays a pass to Ruben Dias once more. Erling Haaland's dropped into a deeper space to receive the ball. He doesn't get the ball, and Ruben Dias hasn't really got any options, and Ederson chooses to advance himself out of his own penalty area to try and just help push that City line further forward. And in the end, Ruben Dias is forced into a long ball forward, which I think is what Chelsea were inviting on by allowing City no space. And header won by Chelsea means they can have possession of the ball momentarily. Ederson finds Dias under pressure and he's going to lose out on the ball here. And Raheem Sterling wins the ball back high up here. Tries to thread a pass through, won back by Akanji. Not the right pass. And Rodri, under pressure, steps in well. Immediately doesn't find the pass, but it falls nicely to Bernardo Silva. And City can just work this ball out. Erling Haaland dropping deeper. And Julian Alvarez was momentarily the furthest man further forward, and City now into the Chelsea half, and Chelsea having to scramble their players back. Caicedo and Fernandez back. Work to the left-hand side. Bernardo Silva goes for a first-time ball. Reece James. There's a head collision. Referee doesn't stop it, and Erling Haaland goes in. He goes down. He wants a penalty out for a corner. Chelsea furious with the referee that he's not stopped the play for a head injury. Two Chelsea players had a coming together, and City in a good position there. Wanted to utilise that, and the referee says play on. Let's have a look at this coming together. It's not heads. Referee doesn't have to stop it. I don't think it is heads. I think it's shoulder to shoulder, and I think the Chelsea player holds his head to try and get, the play to stop. Erling Haaland just looks like he has his shirt pulled to the ground there. I mean, he's all over Erling Haaland. Looks like a penalty, that, to me. VAR are looking at this for checking the penalty for a potential foul. I don't know what the referee's original decision is here. Yeah, VAR said penalty Manchester City. I don't really know what VAR are checking for here. I think they're checking for Jeremy Doku. It's just a coming together between Reece James and Moises Caicedo. Yellow card given. I don't know who that yellow card's been given. VAR haven't taken the time to have a look at this because they've been surrounded in controversy. The problem is here, I think, for Chelsea, the original decision is penalty. And is there enough to overturn this decision? And I don't think that there is. Yeah, penalty has been given. I think that's the correct decision. The problem is Cucurella allows Haaland to get goal side. He's aggressive. He tugs him and he goes down. I think it's a yellow card given to Cucurella. So they both have hold of each other. So it's 6 of one and half a dozen of the other. Erling Haaland lets go. Cucurella lets go of his arm and goes to the back of his shirt, and there's a clear pull on it and penalty given. And this is the problem. You keep your hands down. There's no decision that's going to be made. Because he doesn't keep his hands down, you give the referee the reason to give the penalty. And I think it's silly from Marc Cucurella. And it gives Man City an opening here. In the first 23 minutes, City haven't created very much. But they have the chance here for the all-important first goal. So it's Erling Haaland up against Sanchez. Big moment this in the game. Big decision made by the referee. And I think he's right. Can Erling Haaland capitalise on this then? Referee having a word with the goalkeeper. Referee says he's happy now for the penalty to be taken. Haaland drops the ball onto the spot, pulls his socks up. Remember Erling Haaland's vibe, technique. He just strikes the ball and hits the ball as hard as he can, looking for the back of the net. More often than not, it's successful. Is it successful here? Haaland sends the keeper the wrong way. It's a brilliant penalty from Erling Haaland. The all-important first goal. City lead at Stamford Bridge. Come on! Erling Haaland, you're going to back him from the spot. Some people say all the time they don't like his technique. But he just gives the eyes to the keeper, waits for him to commit and just rolls the ball the other way. Takes a good look at the keeper, waits to see which way he's committing because I'm going to stroke it the other way. It's a good penalty from Haaland. Keeper commits. Because the keeper commits, it allows Haaland just to go the opposite way. And it's another goal for Erling Haaland, another goal for Manchester City. Manchester City in this big Premier League clash lead here by 1-0. Jamie Carragher saying he thinks it's harsh. Mauricio Pochettino shakes his head and shakes his finger. I don't agree with it. The shirt pull. Keep your hands to yourself. If Cucurella doesn't lay any hands on Erling Haaland and Haaland's pulling his shirt and he goes on to head that ball into the back of the net, VAR will look at it and say it's a foul from Erling Haaland on Cucurella. He's given the referee a reason to give the penalty. And I think the biggest problem you have is because Erling Haaland's goal side of Cucurella, he gives the penalty. It's awful defending. It's absolutely awful defending from Marc Cucurella. You do not let somebody 6'4" get goal side of you with a ball getting played into the box. I don't care if there's been a coming together and it's unsettled you. They've lost their heads there a little bit, Chelsea. They haven't thought about it. They weren't smart enough about it and pulled down. Boy Racer, I think spot on there. Absolutely spot on. Shot comes in from Chelsea, blocked well by Rodri. Chelsea feel aggrieved. Enzo Fernandez into a good position. Goes down. He wants a free kick. Conor Gallagher takes a heavy touch and referee's going to come back and he's going to give a free kick to Chelsea. And I think the referee feels like he's given that harsh one for City. So he's going to start trying to level this up and give Chelsea a couple of easy fouls that are maybe 50-50. I mean, let's have a look at what's in this on Enzo Fernandez. Rodri slightly late, leaves the trailing leg, makes contact, doesn't get the ball, so it is a free kick. So Manchester City lead here, but they do have some work here. Good free kick position, this. 30 yards out, slightly to the left-hand side for Chelsea. Manchester City's right. Cucurella stood over it. Thiago Silva stood over it. I think it'll be Reece James that takes this. City going with just a 3-man wall. Maybe a bit concerned about Chelsea trying to play this ball into the box. Let's have a look. I think this suits the left footer more than the right. Reece James goes with it. It's a great save from Ederson. Gets a really strong right hand onto that to tip it over the top of the crossbar. I think you're better going across the wall and looking for the near post for the left footer. Reece James has to go across, goes for the far post. You're going to struggle to find the top corner. It's nowhere near the top corner, and Ederson just gets a nice strong hand onto it to tip it over the top of the crossbar. Good save that from Ederson. Corner comes in. Header won by Chelsea, and it's 1-1. Thiago Silva connects with the header, and it's into the back of the net. And no sooner was it 1-1 that Chelsea have levelled this up. A good header won by Thiago Silva. Where's City's marking there? At the near post. Chelsea felt aggrieved that that penalty was given against them. It's a near post ball into the box. It's Haaland that's beaten to it. And Thiago Silva gambles on that near post, finds the header across the keeper. And if it's not on target, Chelsea have two players ready to follow that in at the back post. It's a good header from Thiago Silva. It's poor defending from City. Chelsea level here, and City failed to capitalise on their early advantage from the penalty spot. And Chelsea will look to try and build momentum on that. City just need to regroup here, I think. Difficult game, this one. So you just need to. It's going to be narrow. I said it's going to be narrow. I fancy this to be both teams to score. There's more twists and turns to come. Just need to try and regroup for the next couple of minutes. Don't try and be explosive and passionate because I don't think it suits us. It's helped Chelsea there. Chelsea could easily have lost the plot and end up having another decision go against them, but I think City just need to regroup because Chelsea will try and get up ahead of steam here. We're a fantastic team. We know what it takes to win a game like this. Do the game, and ball gets played forward. Good defending from Ruben Dias and Kyle Walker. And Rodri does the right thing there. Doesn't panic. Doesn't put the ball out of play. Doesn't allow the Chelsea fans to get going. Plays the ball forward. Finds the pass. Foden finds the ball off Enzo Fernandez. City get a throw in, and it just takes the sting away. As I said, give it 5 minutes, and the game will have calmed down a little bit and City can just grow back from there. 31 minutes in then, 1-1 here. Here's Ruben Dias. Rodri. Ederson. Works the ball to the left. Josko Gvardiol now. Gives the ball to Rodri. Here's Julian Alvarez. Plays the ball back to Ruben Dias. Here's Kyle Walker. Finds a pass into Phil Foden. That's good work from Phil Foden on the right. Really good work from Phil Foden. Through the legs of Thiago Silva. Goes for the cross. It's typical. Haaland. Oh, into the side netting. Phil Foden, take a bow. What a ball across from Foden. Sanchez is stretching. He can't deal with it. It's on Foden's weaker right foot. He doesn't mean it. And Haaland should score. I see it from that angle. It hits his shin and goes wide. He makes clean contact with that. Keeper's committed. He's down. Haaland scores. And someone of as quality as what Haaland is, I think Haaland will be disappointed with that. And that's a big opportunity for City. Chelsea, I think, take the warning sign there and decide to drop deeper and be smart about it. And I think that's what Chelsea need to learn their lessons from. If they want to build themselves up and climb up the Premier League table and start getting teams to take them serious once more and prove themselves, they need to grind results out more, make life difficult, make Stamford Bridge a difficult place to come. Ball from Jeremy Doku to Bernardo Silva. Chelsea want a free kick. Not given. Bernardo Silva shakes his head. And for me, I think Disasi goes down way too easy, looking for it. Referee says, get up. Josko Gvardiol throws it out to Bernardo. Here's Foden. Heads it back to Kyle Walker. Instruction from Foden is go back. Ruben Dias then takes control of the ball. Here's Ruben Dias for Manchester City. Work to the left-hand side. Doku. City need to try and find a way to get Doku more involved in this game. Not really found a way to get him involved too much in this game. That's a lovely turn from Rodri. Gives it to Foden into the penalty area. Foden! Oh, just wide. So close from Phil Foden. Desperately unlucky. Just gets the bend around Marc Cucurella. Oh, so close. Half a yard. Foden's having a good game so far, isn't he? Enzo Fernandez gives the ball away. Rodri takes control of that. He's got Bernardo Silva for support in the middle. Good ball to Josko Gvardiol. Space opening up here for City. Ball work to the right. Foden takes control of it. 2 up front here for City. Alvarez joining Haaland. Rodri's going to find Doku. Needs to go first time. He doesn't. Fancies himself against Reece James, and Reece James does well and gets the interception, and Chelsea can get the ball forward to Jackson here, and good challenge that by Ruben Dias. He wants to throw in, doesn't get it, throw into Chelsea. Good response this from Manchester City since Chelsea found the equaliser. Really good response. Here's Marc Cucurella. Works the ball to Raheem Sterling. He's got his back to goal, so he has to turn backwards and gives the ball to Cucurella. And Cucurella just looks very unsettled after looking all right first 20 minutes or so. I think that penalty's rocked him. Looks a bit shaky. Looks like the weak point. I'm going back to what I was saying. Excuse me. I'm back to what I was saying at the start of the live stream. I think Jeremy Doku would be better suited to this right wing for City today. I think he'd cause havoc on Marc Cucurella. But Foden's having a lot of success, so I think City just wanting to stick with it. But I think that might just be something that's worth exploring. Here's Cole Palmer. Plays the ball forward to Reece James, not dealt with, and it's there for Raheem Sterling. And Chelsea turn it all around, celebrates against his former team, and Chelsea are ahead. And it's Josko Gvardiol that just gets his feet all mixed up. Reece James just plays a cool as you like ball across. Josko Gvardiol should be dealing with that. And Chelsea, after being behind, are ahead here. And City have plenty of work to do. Plenty of work to do. Raheem Sterling's onside. The goal will count. Kyle Walker's appealing for the offside flag. He's about half a yard onside, and Josko Gvardiol just, I don't think he's aware of the threat, where the ball is, and it hits his feet. And because his back's to goal, Reece James has an easy as you like ball across. And Raheem Sterling, he loves tap-ins, right place at the right time. Seen it from his time at City. Raheem Sterling's positioning is excellent. It's just his finishing that lets him down, particularly on one-on-ones. And Chelsea lead. And now Manchester City, the problem that City have got here, we can't afford Chelsea to score next. And Ruben Dias with a bloody awful ball just given away. And I think City just look a bit unsettled. That's won back well, though, here. Here's Julian Alvarez to Foden. Plays it back to Alvarez. Goes across. Haaland! Good defending from Chelsea, covering the gaps. I think City need a really big push here to half-time. See if they can find an equaliser. I think City needs something to take in at half-time. It's not even an end-to-end game, this one. This has been a pretty scrappy affair. Here's Ruben Dias. Find Josko Gvardiol. Needs to keep his chin up. Makes a mistake. We all make them. Move on from it. Ruben Dias. Gives the ball to Rodri. Free kick against City there. Don't really know what for. It weren't offside. That's a great ball from Cole Palmer and a lovely touch from Reece James. And it's 4-on-2 here for Chelsea. It's 4-on-2. Just a poor pass. Still there, Enzo Fernandez. Good block from Manchester City. Oh, City just need to get to grips with this. Rodri needs to get this one clear. He's under pressure from Marc Cucurella. Can play it up the line. Given away, though, Enzo Fernandez to Raheem Sterling. Marc Cucurella. Enzo Fernandez once more. It's a poor control from Reece James. Not punished by City. I think City just need a little bit more support on that left side for me. I remember saying at Old Trafford, I wanted us to really push for it and go with Doku ahead of Grealish. I think I'd have liked to have seen Grealish in this game ahead of Doku. There's just acres of space for Cole Palmer on that right-hand side. Here's Raheem Sterling, full of confidence, goes for a shot, and it's wide from Raheem Sterling. Raheem Sterling clearly wants to, feels like he's got a point to prove here against Manchester City. I don't think the City fans will have appreciated him running over to that side where he just scored the goal and celebrating in front of them, but he's no longer a City player. He can do as he pleases. There was always a lot of criticism of Raheem Sterling when he was at City, so I don't really think there's too much love there. Here's Julian Alvarez giving the ball away here. Here's Jackson. That's good defending from Ruben Dias to find the block after Conor Gallagher made the run. Here's Kyle Walker. There's space everywhere here for City. Chelsea gives City too much space. They'll get punished. And Bernardo Silva plays it to Haaland. Haaland! Great save, Sanchez. Erling Haaland normally buries them. And Sanchez pulled off a massive save. You'd put your mortgage on Erling Haaland putting that into the back of the net. Oh, sure, I'm not a fan of Sterling, but it's a fantastic save from Sanchez. Keeps Chelsea ahead. Erling Haaland just pulls apart Thiago Silva there, gets goal side, and you'd back Erling Haaland to put that in the back of the net. You really would. It's a good, clean connection from Erling Haaland, and the keeper does so well to get down low to it. It's a cracking save. My only criticism is it's not in the corner. Doku gets the ball back here for City inside the penalty area. Bernardo Silva, surprised he didn't go for the back post. Didn't have a chance to look up, so he goes backwards. Rodri to Kyle Walker. Foden makes the run. Not used by Kyle Walker. Chelsea have had a chance here to get everybody back, though. So City are going to have to be smart about what they can create. Here's Phil Foden. Opens up for Foden. Foden with a shot and a comfortable save for Sanchez in the end. Better for Manchester City. Sanchez just goes down the line. It just dissects Manchester City's midfield. Why is Jeremy Doku playing in central midfield for Manchester City with Sanchez just playing a direct pass down the middle and Raheem Sterling turns Doku? City all over the place. And a shot comes in from Jackson. He should do better. He should really do better. This is going end-to-end. City dismiss the ball here very quickly. Here's Bernardo Silva. Gives the ball to Gvardiol. Here's Rodri. Bernardo goes across to Kyle Walker. Lovely touch from Kyle Walker. Just takes Raheem Sterling away from the ball. 44th minute. 2-1 Chelsea lead after City took the lead for Erling Haaland from the spot. Here's Phil Foden up against Cucurella. Has to go back. Ruben Dias takes control of the ball. Bernardo Silva now. Gvardiol to Akanji into the 45th minute. Akanji goes across, and these long balls forward from City are connecting much better, and the control of the ball is much better from City now. Here's Julian Alvarez. Gives the ball to Kyle Walker. City just trying to thread a ball through, find something smart. Needs a little bit more movement. Needs to be a bit quicker. They're wanting to create these opportunities for me. And that's a great pass into the channel. Foden holds the ball up really well. Doesn't have any real support, so he has to go back. Gvardiol gives it to Akanji. Back to Gvardiol. Doku's stretching the play here up against Cole Palmer. Jeremy Doku now. No overlap used by Gvardiol, so Doku has to do it himself, and he goes up against Palmer. He's done Palmer here, and that goes out for a corner to Manchester City. So how long's going to get added on here? I reckon you probably have a bit, 6 minutes. So plenty of time here for City to try and find an equaliser. Chelsea will be thinking there's plenty of time for them to potentially find a killer 2-goal cushion and a third goal here. Corner for City was spot on before by Chelsea. Julian Alvarez chooses to pass it. Bernardo goes in. Header, 2-2. As easy as that. It's Akanji with the header and the goal for Manchester City. What a finish. This is a cracking game of football. And it's Manuel Akanji, easy as you like, just peels away from the defender. He fancies a dance and boom, 2-2. Brilliant ball from Bernardo. It's a great header from Akanji. It's so simple. Chelsea's goal was pretty easy with their corner. City's just as easy. Same result. Goal. 2-2. It's been a great game of football, this. Bit of a ding-dong battle going on. There's still time. Pochettino furious with that goal, but there's still 5 minutes left of this first half, so still could be more twists and turns. Sharma, not happy with the performance of Enzo Fernandez, paying a lot of money for him. Happy with the goal. It's a cracking game of football. Chris, thanks for tuning in. Says, nobody should be happy with this performance. It's not been a great performance from City. Took us too slow to get going. It's been sloppy. There's been mistakes that have been made. But it's been a good game of football. No denying that. Julia happy with that one. Well done to Manuel Akanji back in the City lineup after a recent back injury and back in with the goals, building on his goals tally. Found a goal away in Switzerland against Young Boys a few weeks ago. Back in the starting 11 here for Manchester City and back in amongst the goals in the Premier League away in London. Great header from Akanji. Great header. Love the little dance from Doku and Akanji there. Love that. Ruben Dias then plays a pass back to Ederson. 3 minutes remaining. Long ball gets played forward. I don't think Julian Alvarez knew the flight of the ball there, and Thiago Silva did, and so he wins the ball. It was very winnable, that, for Julian Alvarez. Cole Palmer steps forward. He's tackled by Rodri, and City can just work the ball back and keep hold of the ball. Into the 48th minute is the one final twist in this first half. 4 goals scored. Here's goal scorer Akanji. Gives the ball to Ruben Dias. Dias now works the ball back to Rodri. Chelsea got everyone firmly camped inside their own half. It's very much a case here for Chelsea. Don't concede again. Tails up for City. Doku finds Bernardo. Bernardo can't turn past Disasi, and Chelsea can come away with the ball, and Sterling caught with the ball, trying to get the ball back. good combination play between Doku, Haaland, and Alvarez. And 2 minutes remaining here. City can have the ball back. Been a real good game of football. Enjoyed this one. Here's Manuel Akanji for Manchester City to Ruben Dias. Here's Rodri. It tries to thread a ball to the right-hand side, and Raheem Sterling gets a head onto that and finds the interception. Kyle Walker with the throw-in. Gives the ball to Ruben Dias. Here's Josko Gvardiol for Manchester City. Finds Bernardo on the left-hand side. Might be worth putting a ball into the box. He does. Headed clear, though, by Disasi. Here is Ruben Dias. Plays the ball to Kyle Walker. Wants to turn past Sterling, and I don't think that's a free kick. Referee blows the whistle. I think Kyle Walker takes a heavy touch there. Sees the contact, takes the contact and goes down. Raheem Sterling can't really get out of the way. He doesn't lean in with a shoulder or anything. I don't think there's too much in that. I think if Kyle Walker didn't take a heavy touch, I think he can certainly keep himself on his feet, but decides to give the free kick, which isn't utilised by City. Doku did want a corner. In the end, referee says goal kick instead. And with just 30 seconds remaining of the first half, I think that's probably going to be half-time. Pochettino right by the tunnel now, ready to go in at half-time. And it'll be interesting to see what the Chelsea and City analysts make of this and what they do different in the second half. We'll, of course, analyse that and have a look at the stats as well with what is happening at half-time, as well as some half-time entertainment for you guys to look forward to as well. So when the ball gets back in play, Sanchez just sends this one long. Header won by Rodri and out for a throw-in. So we're into whatever's been added on to added time here. Referee hasn't had a look at his watch just yet. Cucurella to take the throw-in for Chelsea just inside the Manchester City half. He goes backwards to Thiago Silva. He takes the opportunity to send this one long. Referee does check his watch this time. Doesn't blow the whistle just yet. There can't be too long left. Here's Gallagher. Finds Sterling in a good position. Here's Jackson in the penalty area and gets a shot away and out for a corner. Wanted a penalty for handball. Referee says he tucks it in and it comes off his arm, but it's in a natural position. It isn't out and out for a corner. So last bit of defending here for City. We're 1 minute over time, so City concede off this. I don't think they'll be too happy. Gallagher takes it short to Sterling. Cross comes in. It's not a very good one. And Ederson will catch that. And the referee will bring a close to the first half there in what's been a very entertaining game of football, but certainly not City's best performance of the season so far. Julia, thanks so much for the €2.49 donation. Much appreciated. Asks, at the moment, how is the table looking? Well, I'll share my screen. We'll go through the stats and we'll look at the live league table. Thanks very much to Julia for the donation there. Anyone that does want to make any donations, it would be much appreciated. Remember, every penny that is made by the channel is reinvested back into the channel. So if that is something that does interest you, then please do leave some donations and leave your thoughts. That would be much appreciated by me. So let's have a look then at the stats, and let's have a look at, as Julia's requested, the live league table. And if it does end up finishing level at full time between these two teams, which it could well do, then let's see what that means for the Premier League table. So at the moment, with the live league table, it's not live at the moment. You'll have to add a point on. Manchester City will go on to 28 points, which means we'll be a point clear of Liverpool, a point clear of Arsenal, and we'll be 2 points clear of Tottenham Hotspur, and also 3 points clear of Aston Villa. I think it's important to remember our next game is against Liverpool, but it is at the Etihad. Our game after that is against Tottenham, but it is at the Etihad. And our game after that is away against Aston Villa, who've got one of the best home forms in the Premier League. So 3 very difficult games. And I was looking at this game against Chelsea, Liverpool, Spurs and Villa. I reckon City pick up 9 points from them 4 games. I think City will sit top of the Premier League, depending on where that defeat comes. I think if City pick up 10 points from them 4 games. I think Man City will sit top of the Premier League, and I think we take a big stride towards potentially winning the Premier League as well, with them a very tight fixture schedule coming up. If we can win here at Stamford Bridge, that would be absolutely brilliant and would be a cracking result to take into the international break, and cracking build-up and cracking prep and cracking confidence and form heading into what is a very busy end of November and December schedule, and heading into, of course, that international break. You don't want to go into an international break and think about a defeat for 2 weeks. It's a long 2 weeks. So we will see what happens. So having a look at the stats for this game. Manchester City took the lead. Marc Cucurella brought down Erling Haaland in the 22nd minute. Took 3 minutes through VAR checks and moaning and complaining, which saw a couple of yellow cards handed out to Cucurella and Cole Palmer before Erling Haaland sent Sanchez the wrong way and dispatched it to give Manchester City the lead. That lead only lasted 4 minutes before a corner came in from Cole Palmer. Erling Haaland couldn't get there quick enough, and Thiago Silva reacts quickest to go at the near post and find a good header into the far corner and into the back of the net for the equaliser. Chelsea then have to wait 8 minutes before Josko Gvardiol can't sort his feet out. Reece James goes first time to the back post, and who's there to tap in but Raheem Sterling? How many times have you seen him do that for Manchester City? And then City didn't have to wait too long to find an equaliser just 9 minutes later from a corner. Julian Alvarez works it to Bernardo Silva. He floats across in. Akanji's there with time and space with a well-taken header to find the equaliser for Manchester City. And you can see these odds now just starting to shorten. Chelsea still 4-1 to win this game. They were 4.5 to 1. A draw now 7-4. And Man City still slight favourites at 11-10 on bookies. Still think City are going to win this game. City having more of the possession, 59% compared with 41% for Chelsea. But Chelsea have dominated the shots, had 11 shots compared with 8 for Manchester City. Both teams have had 5 on target. Both teams have found a couple of goals. And I think there's going to be more goals here in the second half. 5 block shots for Chelsea, 1 for Manchester City. Pass completion rate for Chelsea below 80%. I think they'll be pretty disappointed with that, considering they are a possession-based football team. Manchester City below 90%, normally around 92, 93%, so slightly below that as well. As City haven't really been on it, but we have managed to create clear-cut opportunities. Of course, one of the biggest, Erling Haaland with a one-on-one with the keeper. Sanchez makes a good low-down save, keeping this scoreline level at 2-2. 3 clear-cut chances compared with 1 for Chelsea. 3 corners apiece for both teams. No offsides for either team. Tackle completion rate for Chelsea at 75%. City at 66%. Aerial duels, 33% for Chelsea, 66% for Manchester City. 3 saves apiece for both Sanchez and for Ederson. 6 fouls committed by Chelsea, 3 for Manchester City, with a couple of yellow cards, which I'm wondering if them yellow cards may have any meaning on this game. Not sure that they will, of course. Them yellow cards coming from the back of that penalty for Marc Cucurella and also Cole Palmer for moaning and complaining. But as it is, 2-2 here, entertaining game of football. Not the high quality that we normally have from Manchester City, but it has been a good game of football nonetheless. So, guys, your thoughts. Do let me know your thoughts in the live chat. That would be much appreciated. I do have some halftime entertainment for you guys to enjoy. It is brought to you by my partner channel, Mixed. Links and details there in the description. And this is Mixed bringing you the Saint-Germain Spritz. So sit back, relax, enjoy, go and grab yourself a drink and a snack, and I will see you in just over 4 minutes time.
What's going on, guys? Mixed here, back again for another summer cocktail. So this is a nice, quick, easy one, nice and refreshing, and I will show you how to make it. It is the Saint-Germain Spritz. So what it is, with it being a spritz, it's over the ice. So get your highball glass, fill it with ice like I have, and what we're going to do first is pour in the Saint-Germain over the ice. So it's 40ml, which is 1.3 ounce of Saint-Germain elderflower liqueur. So if you've ever had it, it is a quality French liqueur, and it has that elderflower tasting notes. It's really, really nice, and I really recommend it. And what we're going to do now is top it up with Prosecco and sparkling water. Now the final thing is just top it up with sparkling water. I'm using San Pellegrino. Beautiful. So just to be clear, we've topped up with 40ml of each. So what we're going to do is just give it a light stir now just to mix it in. And the final thing to do now is garnish it with 2 lemon slices. You can do a lemon twist if you wish, but I'm using 2 small lemon slices. And also an optional one you can use as a garnish, edible flour. And there we go, nice and quick, it's refreshing, it's simple, straight to the point, and it's a classic spritz cocktail. So that is the Saint-Germain Spritz, easy as that, isn't it, easy to make. So that is my summer cocktail number 6 for 2023, the Saint-Germain Spritz. How does it taste? Nice and refreshing. So the thing that you can taste is like with the sparkling water and the Prosecco hitting first, but the first tasting note I get when it hits is the sparkling one. Then you can feel the elderflower tasting notes coming through as it seeps through the sparkling water, and then with the aftertaste of the Prosecco. But it's nice and crisp. But on a nice summer hot day, it's nice and refreshing. It's one thing I will say. Elderflower liqueur, Saint-Germain. You can't really go too wrong, especially if you want to go for if you want taste. Elderflower is your way to go. You can use it for gin and tonics. You can use it for many things, Saint-Germain. But that, guys, is the Saint-Germain Spritz. What do you think of it? Do let me know in the comments below. As I will be doing more summer cocktails, as my next cocktail video is going to be my 2K special. So I will be doing 5 summer cocktails you must try in celebration of my 2,000 subscribers special. But I've been Mixed. This has been the Saint-Germain Spritz. Don't forget to like and subscribe to Mixed for more summer cocktails like this, and I will see you guys for the next one. Cheers. Beautiful.
Thank you very much there to Mixed for providing today's halftime entertainment, short but sweet. Much appreciated. And good evening to Mixed. Hopefully Mixed will be the good luck charm for Manchester City in what has been a not so great performance from Manchester City so far, but a pretty entertaining game nonetheless. And it remaining, of course, 2-2 here and still level. I don't think there's really too much else. It's been 2 sides that have put the chances away. It's been pretty end-to-end at times. Neither team defensively have been that brilliant. Both teams have had opportunities to score even more. So, hopefully second half. I mean, do I want it to be a ding-dong battle? I mean, it'd be great to win a ding-dong battle. I prefer City to have more control of this game, because at times there in the first half, I felt like we didn't have control and a proper grip on the game. And I just feel like City are at their absolute best when they are controlling the game, controlling the pace of the game, controlling the opportunities that are being created, limiting our opponents to very little. At the moment, Chelsea have had more opportunities than what most teams have against Manchester City. So I think that's just something that City need to sort out. I'm just keeping myself snack in. I needed that. Not had a chance to eat too much today. Actually, JSGC's been on a diet for the last 3 months. I managed to lose nearly a stone of weight, which is fantastic. With my New Year's resolution, I managed to lose a bit of weight at the start of the year. Just kind of gradually put it on over the summer, and managed to lose that and more over the last 3 months. So it seems to be working well. So hopefully we can have a good push towards the end of the year as well, which would be absolutely fantastic. Julia, I went through them before, actually. So I'll just go through them again. It's fine. So, excuse me. Premier League matches, for anybody wondering. Finished earlier on today. Aston Villa 3, Fulham 1. Aston Villa continuing that excellent home form that they've got. Brighton 1, Sheffield United 1. A very disappointing point that for Brighton, but a very good point for Sheffield United. Liverpool 3-0 up. 3-0 winners, sorry, not 3-0 up. 3-0 winners against, Brentford at home. And West Ham in an entertaining game on Sky Sports. Sky Sports seem to have picked the right games today. West Ham 3, Nottingham Forest 2. That was a bit of a ding-dong battle. West Ham took the lead in that game. Nottingham Forest came back to lead, equalised very quickly, and then went on to win that game late on. So hopefully the same here. Man City went ahead. Chelsea equalised, then went ahead. Man City managed to pull them back pretty quickly to find an equaliser. So hopefully we can go on to score a late winner as well. Of course, this game at half-time, currently Chelsea 2, Manchester City 2. You've had a full round of fixtures in the Women's Super League, the Women's Championship, and the Women's FA Cup. I'm not going to go through them because there's so many games. I'll just... any Chelsea fans watching, they won away from home against Everton by 3-0. And Man City played Brighton and Hove Albion at home and lost by 1-0. And in the Scottish Premiership, Livingston played Rangers, which finished 2-0 Rangers. And Celtic managed to add on another goal very late on in the 99th minute against Aberdeen to win by 6-0. You have got a European Championship qualifier today. Kosovo taking on Israel at 7:45 p.m. GMT as well. And actually up to date with all the matches that have happened so far in Britain today. Just having a look elsewhere in Europe, see if there's anything that's changed. Werder Bremen are 1-0 up, closing in on half-time against Frankfurt. Lazio Roma 0-0, closing in on half-time in Italy. Rennes 0, Lyon 1. They found a goal in the second half there, Lyon, and they lead with 14 minutes left. Feyenoord are 1-0 up against AZ Alkmaar at home into the 90th minute as well. Ghent against Anderlecht in Belgium's just kicked off. Club Brugge drew with it's Bruges Derby, drew with Circle Brugge 0-0, and Genk beat Oud Hervely Leuven by 3-1 at home. And you've got Union Saint Gilloy taking on Kortrijk at 6:15 p.m. GMT. I wonder if there's any of my Aussie friends watching. If they are, Melbourne City drew 3-3 with MacArthur. And you also had Central Coast Mariners. They lost at home by 2-1 against Brisbane Roar. As this match here at Stamford Bridge is back underway for the second half, it doesn't look like any changes have been made. Manchester City now attacking from right to left and attacking the away end in the second half. Chelsea attacking from left to right. And thank you very much, Dad. 1 stone lost. Nearly a stone. We'll look for the next stone to come off as well. So free kick given away by Manchester City there. Kyle Walker on Raheem Sterling. I think Kyle Walker just slips and brings Raheem Sterling down. So Cole Palmer, free kick, whips the ball into the box. Header won by Manchester City. only as far as Conor Gallagher on the right-hand side. He's up against Josko Gvardiol. Gets a push in the back from Gvardiol. Linesman judges not enough in it for him. So he gives a throw into Manchester City, which Conor Gallagher moaning and complaining about. Need to get on with it. I was too busy eating my biscuit, but Manchester City have scored. It's Phil Foden getting forward, plays it down the flank to Alvarez. He squares it across. It looked like it had gone behind Erling Haaland, but it's found its way into the back of the net. What a finish. You might be thinking, JSGC, what are you on about with what a finish? And I mean, what a finish in terms of the goal. It's excellent reading from Manchester City all the way through the play. Haaland's onside. And he does so well to protect the ball. It's a scrappy goal. It's not a clean goal, but they all count. And it's Haaland's protection of his body there to ensure I'm going to have that ball. It might even come in off his backside. Who cares? It goes over the line. It's very similar to Raheem Sterling's goal, just a scrappier version of it. And Manchester City now lead. Very early in the second half, and Manchester City now have their lead. VAR are checking something. Don't know what they're checking for. Possible handball. Where? I bet they're just checking his arm at the back post. That is if they rule this goal out for it doesn't touch his elbow. I mean, is there any concrete proof that it actually touches his elbow? So Haaland slides in, it hits his backside. Haaland wants to get the away fans going, so eventually the goal's given. It didn't even look like it hit his elbow. And even if it did, he's sliding in, and he's sliding in. What's he meant to... Oh, the handball rule's just a joke. I don't like the Champions League's interpretations of it. I don't like the Premier League's interpretations of it. I don't like that the two competitions have got different interpretations of each other. And it's just, at the moment, it's just a mess. But here come Chelsea. Sterling into the City half. Trying to get past Kyle Walker. He does get past Kyle Walker. Good header won by Ruben Dias, and he's sliding in, and City could just whack this ball clear as far away from the goal as possible from Rodri. There is the aim. The geezer down, of course. Let's hope we can protect it. I said City need a little bit more control in this game. We only held the lead for 4 minutes last time. Julia at 92 seconds into the second half, and it didn't take long for Man City to find that goal. So don't forget, guys, if you are enjoying the content, please do leave a thumbs up. We're now just 6 likes away from 50 likes. So any help towards that would be much appreciated. Also, don't forget as well to subscribe if you are new around here. Here's Josko Gvardiol finds Bernardo Silva. And it does so well. He was under pressure there. Moises Caicedo and Jackson putting him under pressure. Bernardo does really well. Referee plays advantage on that, so he would have given a free kick, but you can't take things for granted. Julian Alvarez up against Thiago Silva, and Thiago Silva does well. Andy, you've missed a cracker of a game. Has been a cracker of a game this so far, and there's still 40 minutes remaining. There's Bernardo Silva. Works it back to Ederson. He goes long. Finds Gvardiol. Great touch from Josko. Turns well on Conor Gallagher. Great awareness that from Gvardiol. Doesn't seem to have let his earlier mistake for the Chelsea second goal get to his head, showing a good mentality there from the new Manchester City defender. £70 million man in the summer. Good ball across here from Manchester City, and Jeremy Doku picks the ball up, drives inside, finds Foden. Played towards Bernardo Silva. It's heavy from Bernardo, but he cuts it back across and nearly found Phil Foden. It might drop nicely this to Rodri. Nods it across. Oh! Julian Alvarez straight at Sanchez. Oh, it's a good bit of play from City. Chelsea's defence. Where is their defence? Conor Gallagher's given that one away. Here's Josko Gvardiol. Oh, he's legged up. That's a free kick and yellow card, referee. I don't think he's going to give Moises Caicedo a yellow card for that one. He literally just legs Josko Gvardiol up, right past him. Over you go. Free kick here for City. I think it might be a bit too far out for a shot, but a good position to try and do something smart with it. Either a good ball into the box or work the ball somehow. Alvarez, Walker, Foden stood over this, having words. Ruben Dias comes over, probably just to ask what the plan is. Yeah, too far out for a shot. You're not going to beat Sanchez, I don't think, from here unless he makes some kind of blunder. Or there's a big deflection. Alvarez takes it, crosses it, just over everybody, out for a goal kick. Not the best of balls into the box, that from Julian Alvarez, but we'll let him off because it's Julian Alvarez that got the assist for Erling Haaland's second goal. Here's Chelsea then coming forward. Conor Gallagher on the right-hand side. Raheem Sterling. Back to Conor Gallagher. And Chelsea just looking to centralise this, but being forced backwards by Manchester City. 54 minutes in here at Stamford Bridge. City lead by 3-2. Here's Thiago Silva to Conor Gallagher. Reece James plays a good ball into the channel, which Caicedo just can't get there ahead of Ruben Dias. He wants to throw in Ruben Dias. Feels like he got a perfect challenge in there, but linesman doesn't agree. Here's Disasi now to Cole Palmer. Works this over to the left-hand side. Thumbs up from Raheem Sterling. Takes a real good touch. Shows a bit too much of it, though, to Phil Foden. And he gets there ahead of Marc Cucurella. But Raheem Sterling does really well and gets the ball back. And gets a little push in the back there from Phil Foden. Sterling doesn't go down. City can win the ball back. And I think Sterling might regret not going down now as Jeremy Doku points where he wanted it. But the pass never came from Rodrigo. Instead, Bernardo now gives it to Jeremy Doku up against Reece James. Here's Doku. Doku to the byline. Wants a penalty. Referee gives a free kick this time. And he's going to be booked for simulation. Jeremy Doku shakes his head at that. I'm not sure it's a dive. I just think he goes down a bit too weak for my liking. Yeah, I think it's a harsh Harsh yellow card that. It's not a dive. It's just not enough in it for a free kick. Sorry, for a penalty. I don't think that's a yellow card. Lemuel, thanks for tuning in, listening from the United States of America. Love that one. Thank you very much for tuning in and do hope you are well. Here's Raheem Sterling up against Kyle Walker. What can Raheem do with it? Can he get past Kyle Walker? He can. Cross comes in and Ederson reads that really well. Conor Gallagher was waiting there right towards the penalty spot, wanting to follow that up, but Ederson reads it really well, gathers that one up, and danger averted there for Manchester City now. 57 minutes in, 33 minutes remaining, plus whatever's to be added on here for Manchester City to try and keep hold of what would be a very important and big 3 points in a difficult match. Chelsea want a free kick and get a free kick on Rodri from Reece James. It looked like Reece James had pulled out of that challenge for me. Chelsea want to get on with it. Play a ball through. Jackson can't get there ahead of Ruben Dias. Ruben Dias has been sliding everywhere and winning everything. That's a great ball from Haaland. Doku into the penalty area. Doku! Save from the keeper's feet. Oh, it's a cracking save. Sanchez with a brilliant save. I think Disasi just did enough just to hold up Jeremy Doku by a split second. Doku still manages to get the shot away, but Disasi just does enough that Doku has no other option really just to strike the ball past him. He's so quick that thankfully for Chelsea, they'll be saying it's straight at the keeper. I'll be saying I think Doku should find the back of the net. City don't capitalise and it remains Chelsea 2, Manchester City 3 here at Stamford Bridge. Here's Cole Palmer. City nearly pressing the mistake there. Akanji with a heavy touch goes out for a throw-in. I think Jeremy Doku's going to come off for Manchester City now. He is. That'll be his last work of the game. Not really being Jeremy Doku's game so far. And I think that yellow card that he just picked up, probably the reason he's going to come off. He gets a little bit of a pep talk from Pep Guardiola, but it's a chance for Jack Grealish to come on and obviously has them defensive capabilities of him. Hopefully might just shore up that Manchester City left-hand side or that Chelsea attacking right-hand side. Combinations of Raheem Sterling, Reece James and Cole Palmer that we're getting. Here's Sanchez. The longer this game goes on, of course, Chelsea will be throwing the kitchen sink at this one. So I think Man City now will try and get into a position that we've not been in a position to have so far in this game, and that's that killer 2-goal cushion. Here's Raheem Sterling up against Kyle Walker, knocks it past Rodri, finds the pass, but Ruben Dias has been a bit of a rock for City at the back in the last, certainly in the second half, but in the latter parts of the first half as well. Cucurella goes down. He wants a free kick. Enzo Fernandez gets a push in the back, and Chelsea show too much of that to Manchester City, and Ruben Dias is going to get that one clear up the flank, and nearly too much of that shown to Erling Haaland, and Thiago Silva didn't manage to get his header sorted, but Cole Palmer drops the shoulder into a good position. Cole Palmer! Great save, Ederson. How has Cole Palmer managed to run through Manchester City's midfield and defence right through the heart of it? It's a weak shot in the end. It's good goalkeeping from Ederson. It's great work from Cole Palmer. Brushes past Rodri, past Ruben Dias. And Ederson makes a good save. Ooh, okay. 30 minutes then remaining into the final third of this game. Caicedo's challenge on Grealish has been penalised and he's been given a yellow card. I said he should have been given a yellow card before for legging up Josko Gvardiol. This time his challenge on. Oh, wow. Bernardo Silva, what a turn. Rodri, Jack Grealish up against Reece James as 3 over in support. Jackie G finds Philip. Foden! Saved by Sanchez. Great stuff from Manchester City. It's great stuff. There's Chelsea now coming forward and surrounded out And in the end, Manchester City can get it clear. Chelsea fans not happy. Here come Phil Foden. Alvarez goes early towards Haaland, can't find him. Haaland does keep it in, though. Here's Jack Grealish. Chelsea looking a bit stretched now. To Rodri. Finds Julian Alvarez. Up against Marc Cucurella. Overlap coming in from Kyle Walker. Used by Rodri. Has to turn. Gives it back to Julian Alvarez. Cole Palmer's a fantastic talent. He's a brilliant player. Pep Guardiola's confirmed pre-match to this. Cole Palmer asked to leave. He wanted to leave. And if players want to leave and don't want to be at Manchester City, normally means curtains, regardless of who you are. If a player don't want to be here, there's nothing much we can do. He was getting more minutes. He said he was going to get more minutes with no Riyad Mahrez here. He wasn't prepared. He wanted to leave. He's a great player. But his time at City's done. It's time for us to move on. Here's Rodri. Space opens up. Works it to Haaland. Right-hand side. Weaker right foot comes with the ball across. And straight at Sanchez. And he'll collect that one. Excuse me. Scintillating game of football, this. Very entertaining game of football. Chelsea get lucky. Not lucky enough. Here's Josko Gvardiol. Gives the ball to Bernardo Silva. Josko Gvardiol's made a run right through the centre. He stayed up. Here's Grealish. Gives it to Julian Alvarez. Heavy touch from Alvarez. Can he get the ball out from under his feet? He can. He chips the ball to Jack Grealish, left-hand side. Can he get a ball across? Reece James for company. He's got nowhere to go here, Jackie G, and just gives the ball to Bernardo Silva. It just kind of takes a sting out of the attack there. Not that that's a bad thing in the position that we're in this game at the moment, if I'm honest. Here is Rodri. Finds Phil Foden. Overlap of Kyle Walker. Cucurella steps up and does well. And that's going to be a free kick. Kyle Walker just goes right through Marc Cucurella there. Doesn't need to do that one, Kyle. Chelsea going to make their first change as well. They're going to make two changes, actually. Mudryk's going to be one of them that's going to be coming on. And we're going to be seeing Gusto as well coming on for Chelsea. So a couple of changes here. So Mudryk is going to be the first change. He's coming on. And it's going to be Enzo Fernandez, Argentinian international and World Cup winner, coming off. And the other change is going to be Reece James, not wanting to... I assume just wanting to try and keep him as fit as possible, and also maybe concerned about the fresh legs of Jack Grealish on that right-hand side, and they don't want Reece James picking up more injuries. So they're going to come off as Chelsea's captain armband handed over by Reece James over to Conor Gallagher. So it's Mudryk that comes on, along with Gusto, and it's Enzo Fernandez and Reece James that come off. Manchester City already made a change as well, like for like. Jeremy Doku came off and Jack Grealish has come on that left wing. Ederson's just gone down. He wants to get a bit of treatment here. I imagine Stefan Ortega-Moreno is going to be warming up very soon. Kyle Walker's just gone over. I'm not sure to get instructions from Pep or to give instructions to Pep to tell him more information. I'm not sure, but he's certainly getting talking to Kyle Walker from Pep Guardiola with some instructions. He's called over Jack Grealish now. Pep Guardiola clearly seen something he feels like could be utilised. It's a good opportunity, this Ederson injury, for everyone just to have a little drinks break. Ederson feeling a lot of discomfort. I think around, it looks like his ankle, somewhere between his ankle and shin, feeling a bit of discomfort. The magic spray comes out, and hopefully that'll be Ederson okay. In the meantime, City are going to go and send some substitutes to go and warm up. I presume one of them will be Stefan Ortega-Moreno. Kyle Walker, he just wanted a bit of physio treatment. He's getting his hand bandaged up by the City physios. So don't forget, if you are enjoying the content, please do leave a thumbs up now. Just 5 likes away from 50 likes. So any help towards that would be great. Also, don't forget as well to subscribe if you are new around here. Press that red button, press the bell, and put your push notifications on. Ederson back up still. Feeling a bit of discomfort. And Chelsea can have the ball from that free kick. Here is Disasi. Gives the ball to Thiago Silva for Chelsea to work the ball forward. Conor Gallagher. City putting the squeeze on already. Conor Gallagher dropping into that gap where Enzo Fernandez was, so dropping a bit deeper. Allows Mudryk to go out wide. And Cole Palmer centralising himself. Chelsea clearly seen something. There's Conor Gallagher has a shot. Good save. Rebound. Equaliser. City want the offside flag. Jackson with the goal. The offside flag doesn't come. And Chelsea make it 3-3 here at Stamford Bridge. Conor Gallagher driving forward. It's a good save from Ederson. Read quickest by Jackson. And he just slots under the keeper, following up his hat-trick against Spurs on Monday night with a goal there at Stamford Bridge and equalising once more in this topsy-turvy game. Interesting that City wanted the offside flag. We'll see if it was offside or not. Andy, thank you very much. And tell Alison I said thank you as well. Let's have a look then. He's miles onside. 3-3. Miles onside, 3-3. Ederson's just put it back in the danger zone. He makes the initial save. He should be tipping it round the post. And he just wants to make the initial save, and it just goes back into the danger zone. Read quickest by Jackson and slotted under the keeper. And I think Ederson will be pretty disappointed with that one. Now City need to regroup. I said how costly was that Doku miss. Grealish gives it to Bernardo. Handball! Handball! Referee! Referee! That's handball! Bernardo goes across. He uses his arm. Foden. Cross comes in. Haaland wins the header. And Chelsea make the interception, and that's collected up. That looked like handball. I need to see a replay of this. Have a look. Referee signals head. Oh, yeah, it hits his head. I tell you what. Good decision-making from the referee there. Get a lot of criticism. He makes the correct decision. Look, he slides in and his arm's up. And it goes in that direction, but it hits his head and not his arm. And at real time, it looks like it's hit his arm. For me, anyway. And in the end, it's hit his head. Good decision from the referee. And Disasi, you run the risk. You put your arm up. That hits his arm. It's handball. It's a penalty for Manchester City. And just after Chelsea grabbed an equaliser, it's dangerous. So City got some more work to do here. More work. We scored after 90-odd seconds in the second half. We've not killed this game off. Chelsea gathering up ahead of momentum. Palmer doesn't use the overlap of Gusto. Goes inside to Conor Gallagher, who's shot, forced a poor save from Ederson. And the rebound put in from Jackson a couple of minutes ago. And thanks very much for tuning in. Much appreciated. Good evening. Do hope you are well. Entertaining game of football here, but Man City at the moment dropping points, which means Liverpool, Spurs, Arsenal, they like this. I was expecting this to be a tight game. I was expecting it to be a close game, and I wasn't expecting too many goals in it. Here we are. Potential Premier League classic. Gusto gets forward. Two teams don't want to defend. They want to attack and score goals. There's goals in this game for me. Here's Cole Palmer. It's caused all kinds of problems for Manchester City. Chelsea starting to think that £40 million, a bit of a steal. Palmer wants more. Wants to cut inside. Akanji can make that challenge. Can't help but feel like we'd have more control of this game had we had John Stones here, but we don't. Akanji's grabbed himself a goal, so I'm not going to criticise that as Alvarez pivots really well. He's got Haaland. He's got Foden ahead of him. Uses Foden on the right wing. Haaland in the penalty area. Uses Alvarez. Goes across. And Alvarez is going to have to keep this one in because I think it's a goal kick, and it is a goal kick. Chelsea fans are happy about it as the rain comes pouring down in London. 19 minutes remain here. 3-3. Don't forget to subscribe if you are new around here. And also don't forget as well to leave a thumbs up. Now just 1 like away from 50 likes. So any help towards that would be much appreciated. And not happy with the performance of Josko. He made the mistake. He looked better in the second half, in my opinion. I don't think any of the players, I mean, it's been a good attacking game. None of the defensive players have really looked that impressive. Ruben Dias has looked good. That's going to be a yellow card for a cynical foul from Rodri. Tactical foul just to make sure that the foul's given and there is no further danger. And as I said, it's that man Cole Palmer. He's caused Man City all kinds of problems today. He might not have scored as of yet, but he's caused Man City all kinds of problems. Here's Gusto. Back to Disasi. Sanchez gives the ball to Disasi. Gusto. Gallagher just whacks this one clear for Chelsea. He knows he's got quick players and 3 players further ahead of him. And Josko just heads that one back. And Ederson's hit the hand. That's a handball. Referee's not given anything. It's hit the hand of Kyle Walker. Chelsea fans are furious. City don't want to... I don't know how long the phase goes on for. It was handball that by Kyle Walker, so... Yeah, there we go. Anyway, cross doesn't get anywhere, and City can continue to come forward. City score off this. Chelsea are going to be furious, but they don't have to worry about that because that's poor from City, although they win it back. Here's Grealish. Gives it to Ruben Dias. Gvardiol now. Bernardo. Back to Josko. Here's Bernardo. Works it across to Alvarez. Good interception that from Mudryk getting back, but City just scramble that one back again. That 6-second rule. Get the ball back within 6 seconds. Put your opponents under pressure. High intensity pressure. Win that ball back as quickly as possible. Chelsea struggling. Alvarez. Good, quick, one-touch football. Foden takes a heavy touch. Good sliding challenge. I think it might have been from Disasi, and Man City haven't come away with the ball, and Chelsea have got a 2-on-1 unless Akanji can get there. Manuel Akanji. What a sliding challenge. Cole Palmer keeps it in. City can get their players back here. Here's Conor Gallagher. Thought he might have fancied a shot. And his pass wayward, and Marc Cucurella can pick the ball up in this game. Opening up, it's anybody's game to go either way. Ding-dong battle again. It's continued. 4 goals in the first half, 2 goals in the second half, 3 all here at the Bridge. An exciting last 15 minutes plus whatever's to be added on here. Could go either way. Here's Disasi then to Gusto. Into the Manchester City half. Cole Palmer dictating everything from the middle. Raheem Sterling surrounded out by Manuel Akanji. Here's Rodri. Can't find the pass. Grealish tackled. Sterling finds Gusto. Over the bar. How was Gusto not found the back of the net? What an opportunity for Chelsea. Whoa. City their own worst nightmare again. Chelsea aren't scared to get men forward. Too busy faffing around with it in midfield. Playing passes that aren't there. Gusto really should have scored. Man City will have a throw in here. Inside their own half. Halfway inside their own half. And Gusto, the man that's just missed that brilliant opportunity, has gone down in pain. Coming in for a challenge on Jack Grealish. Feels the impact of that. I think he's landed awkwardly. I think it's to knock the wind out of him. And the Chelsea physios are on. Holding his ribs. Feeling pain there. The geezer saying, I'd take a draw right now. Julia agrees, take the draw. It's been a topsy-turvy game of football. City have led twice. I think if City drop points here, I mean, right now, Chelsea are getting up ahead of steam. So you'd probably take the draw because City could well lose this. But in putting this into perspective, I think Manchester City, I think I'll be disappointed if we don't win this game. I'm going to repeat what I've said in the build-up to this game, and I still think it now, even after this ding-dong battle that we've seen. I just think Liverpool and Spurs at home is more difficult than this game. That Villa away one's a niggly game. It's a game that on paper Man City should be winning. Same with this one, but Liverpool won't be easy at all. That'll be a very difficult game. I think you're looking at the potential first and second place at the end of the season going toe for toe, and that match at the Etihad could be a potential title decider. I agree. Defence hasn't been sloppy. Ray, well, it's about time we've got the rub of the green. We've had some bad officiating so far this season. Robbed of points at Wolves, for example, because of poor officiating. Bernardo Silva drills a ball across. Cleared by Chelsea. Gusto can't do enough and City can have the throw, and it's City's turn now to try and throw caution to the wind. That game was a brilliant game of football. Must be very physically demanding on Chelsea. They'll be pretty happy to see the international break, I think. Can't imagine doing that and going through that every game. And Chelsea came out of a ding-dong battle that game. Bernardo squared across. Good defending again by Chelsea. I think Chelsea are just starting to slowly get to grips defensively here. I think since Jack Grealish has come on, it's just been slightly ever so slower on that left-hand side. And taking Reece James off and putting Gusto on just seems to have done the trick, I think, for Chelsea. I think down this other flank, maybe City's success, where our goal came from in the second half. Here's Jack Grealish. Raheem Sterling does so well, and he gets a free kick. Mateo Kovacic is going to come on then. City going to try and get a bit more control here in midfield, and Julian Alvarez comes off. I think that's a wise decision for me. I think that's a wise decision. Extra legs in midfield. A player that can have more defensive responsibilities about him than Julian Alvarez. And hopefully that will be able to help swing tempo in City's favour here. Final 11 minutes. Well, I think there's a reason why Jack Grealish at the moment isn't first choice at Manchester City after having a good season with City last season. Here's Ederson. Mateo Kovacic, just beyond Alvarez. Akanji, sorry. Still finds Ederson. Here's Ruben Dias, who I think has been City's best defensive player today. I don't think Akanji's had been too bad. Here's Akanji. Jack Grealish just shoved off the ball here. And Chelsea have got the extra runner here. Here's Jackson up against Akanji, gives it to Cole Palmer, finds Mudryk, and he gets his feet muddled up, and that'll allow City just to get it clear. Only as far as Conor Gallagher, and he has a volley, was dipping, but not dipping quick enough, and over the top of the crossbar, and out for a goal kick to Manchester City. He's going to struggle to beat Ederson from there, Conor Gallagher. Take a real stunning goal, but this has been a game that's had everything in it so far, so yeah, try your luck if it opens up, really. Here is Manuel Akanji for Manchester City. City now just playing at a walking pace, perhaps showing the intent that maybe City are happy with the point. As I said, 10 points from this game and our next 3, and I think Man City go on to win the league. That'll be one of the 10. Means a couple of wins at home, and all of a sudden Man City are very much on track, and Liverpool and Spurs are dealt big blows, but you're putting a lot of pressure on them games. If we can win this, it means one of them games we can afford to maybe drop points. I don't want to drop points. Every game I think is winnable for Manchester City, but you're playing against 11th place in the Premier League. I think to myself, if you've got 2nd place and 4th place coming up, then to put yourself under or give yourself a bit of a margin for error, you want to be beating 11th place in the Premier League. But Chelsea just finding a bit of confidence over the last month or so. As I said, up ahead of steam. They'll feel much better after that win against Spurs. They've taken a lot of confidence away from that. It's kind of put Chelsea's name on the map for this season to try and have them be taken serious. And they've played a good game of football. They've took the game really well here to Manchester City, I think. And Conor Gallagher squaring up to Rodri. Josko Gvardiol shoving Jackson. And there we go. Yeah, and I don't think he's had the best of games, Alvarez, today. Still managed to get an assist, though. Here's Bernardo. Gives the ball to Ruben Dias. 8 minutes remaining here at Stamford Bridge, plus probably a large chunk to be added on. Ruben Dias can't thread his pass through. Phil Foden takes a heavy touch, and that comes off him. And that's going to be a throw-in to Chelsea, which Marc Cucurella is going to take next to Chelsea's own corner flag. So this is the part of the pitch where City want this ball to be. Pep Guardiola and Juan Marlilo in deep discussion right now. Is there another twist in the story? Cucurella cleared by Chelsea. Jackson can't get it under control. Look like maybe a high foot from City, not given by the referee or the lines. Well, actually, yeah, the referee has given the free kick for the high foot there on Bernardo Silva. I said it looked like a high foot. It is, as the rain continues to come down and makes hard work of the playing conditions. And it might be worthwhile for City to get within 20 or 30 yards, maybe just trying a shot, get a bit of a dink on it or something. Keeper could spill it. We saw that with Ederson. A greasy ball and a greasy playing surface could have deadly effects when it comes to potentially scoring a goal. And I don't think I've seen enough since City have gone ahead in the second half when we went 3-2 ahead. I don't think I've seen enough attacking play from City to try and kill this game off, and that's why we're in this position. Game is finally poised. Another minute and a half ticks away. 6.5 minutes remaining. Sanchez sends it long. Header will or should have been won by Josko Gvardiol. The offside flag does go up against Raheem Sterling. How many times did we see Raheem Sterling go offside for Manchester City? He loves being offside. Here is Josko Gvardiol then to Rodri. Plays the ball into space. It's a lovely turn from Mateo Kovacic. Moises Caicedo. He's on a yellow card. It's dangerous. Sorry, it was Raheem Sterling. I thought it was Moises Caicedo. It was Raheem Sterling. Here is Grealish. Good feet. Cross goes in. Not a good ball in. Over the top of Erling Haaland and out for a goal kick. Clock continues to tick. Sanchez sends this one long. That is well worked by Phil Foden, tracking back to cut the ball off and give Man City possession. Here's Akanji. Gvardiol does really well to Grealish. Got the run of Akanji, uses it. Jack Grealish now. Up against Gusto, finds Kovacic. Grealish decides to centralise himself. So I want to see more from Jakov. Bernardo now gives it to Phil Foden. Here is Walker to Phil, back to Walker on this right-hand side to Bernardo. Bernardo's had a brilliant game for City. Foden's had a brilliant game. Kovacic back to Haaland. Kovacic looking for a goal against his former team. Rodri rocket deflection. Oh! Rodri with the goal for Manchester City. 4-3. I don't care how they go in as long as they go into the back of the net. A scrappy Haaland goal before A deflected goal for Rodri. I think it's come off Thiago Silva, Chelsea's goal scorer earlier in the first half. Cometh the hour, cometh Rodri. Wow, what a game of football. What a game of football this has been. It's a massive deflection off Thiago Silva. It's on target, so it will be a Rodri goal. And that could be the winner. That could be the winner for Manchester City. And wow. This is the Premier League classic. Thiago Silva looking for the block. Finds the back of the net. And he says, we are Manchester City. We play to the end, and we certainly do. And it could get better. Bernardo just can't get it under control. Jaitia, thanks for tuning in, saying, wants Pep now to go more defensive. Try and see this one out. And Saab says, Thiago Silva, my man of the match. Andy, happy with it. Mixing, happy with a Rodri rocket. Not quite the rocket, but that's what Rodri goals are called now. It's been a brilliant topsy-turvy game, and if City can come out in this ding-dong battle on top, I will be buzzing. Absolutely buzzing. 2.5 minutes plus whatever's to be. There'll be a good chunk added on. Game's not over. Chelsea will chuck the kitchen sink at this. As suggested by Jai Tier, I think City do need to set up more defensively, cover them gaps. Drop a little bit deeper. Here's Thiago Silva then for Chelsea. I wonder how tired the Chelsea players are. Pochettino has got the option of going to the bench, but who's there? Who's there to make the difference for Chelsea? Broha, maybe. Got to chuck a striker on. Could well be time for Chelsea to score, particularly if that's added on. Mark, thanks for tuning in. A great way to win the basketball game. It's been very high scoring, but the job's not done yet for City. Not counting my chickens just yet. Josko Gvardiol. He goes down. I think City would want the free kick. Grealish drops the shoulder really well, and City will happily take that free kick. It eats away a few more seconds here. Conor Gallagher with the foul on Jack Grealish, and here is the substitution, and it is that man Broha that is going to come on for Chelsea. It's going to be Moises Caicedo, defensive midfielder, that comes off for Broha, and it's going to be the kitchen sink. Target man goes on. Balls are going to get lumped up. Second striker going on. Instruction goes out to Conor Gallagher. He'll be told to push further forward, I imagine. And Chelsea will try and push that defensive line nice and high up. Chelsea have responded 3 times in this game to City going ahead. Have they got one more in them? Sorry, they've responded twice to City going ahead at 1-0 and... 3 times. Yeah, twice. 1-0 and 3-2. And now it's 4-3. They need to respond a third if they want anything from this game. I'm getting muddled up. 17 seconds then before we go into added time. Here's Cole Palmer. He's had a good game for Chelsea today. We are getting towards my JSGC man of the match. And I know Erling Haaland's got a brace, penalty spot, and off his backside. It's not been Haaland's best of games, but he still managed. That's what Haaland does. Right place, right time. Come away with a couple of goals. I think Phil Foden's had a very good game. I think I'm going to give my man of the match to Bernardo Silva. So we're into the first of 8 minutes added on. 8 minutes for Man City to hang on. And I remember saying to Mixed yesterday, we've been to a couple of football games this weekend. Watched his team Preston North End take on Blackburn Rovers at Ewood Park on Friday night. As part of our football tier challenge, went to Bolton Wanderers taking on Blackpool yesterday. And I said to him yesterday that when it gets to lower league football and they're adding time on, it's 2 minutes in the first half, 3-4 minutes in the second half. This ruling seems to have gone away, and it's happening in the Premier League more and more. Adding all that extra time on seems to just be disappearing. Unless it's an entertaining game, on TV. All of a sudden, you find that time to add on 6 minutes in the first half, 8 in the second. Man City don't waste that much time. I don't think there's 8 minutes to just do it for dramatic effect. I think 5 minutes would have been better served, but we've got an extra 3 minutes and 3 minutes of drama as Conor Gallagher goes into the book for a poor challenge on Jack Grealish. But it eats away at another minute. 7 minutes left of this game. Kyle Walker sends it down the flank. Not the best of clearances from Thiago Silva. Cole Palmer comes away with the ball. Bernardo's been brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. He's my man of the match. Mick said they are resorting back to old ways. It's not right. Here's Raheem Sterling then for Chelsea into the penalty area. Why is there so much space? Why is there so much space? It's a penalty. Broha's been brought down. Ruben Dias can't believe it. It looked like a penalty. Oh, I don't believe it. Chelsea have responded twice, and from the spot, the referee levelling it up from the first half, have the chance to respond for a third time. And it is a penalty. It's a greasy, wet surface. I said, what impact's that going to have on the game? It's Broha's poor touch. Takes it away. Ruben Dias goes sliding in, expecting the shot. Misses the ball. Takes the man. It's penalty every single day of the week. And yeah, 14 minutes. The referee even added on an extra minute on top of that 6 minutes. So actually, it's going to be 15 extra minutes that they're going to have in this game. And there'll be more added on here. There's more pushing and shoving going on here. Chelsea need to score this penalty, I will add. VAR say it is a penalty. I mean, I don't really get why that needed to go to VAR, if I'm honest. It's a stonewall penalty. But the one in the first half, pulling his shirt, getting goal side, it was a poor decision making from Marc Cucurella. Penalty given. And same's happened here. Ruben Dias misses the ball, takes the man. Kyle Walker's furious. Yellow cards are coming out everywhere. Ederson's telling Kyle Walker to back off here. I think he's going to talk his way into the book. Jack Grealish has gone into the book for moaning and complaining. It's going to be Cole Palmer, who scored every penalty so far for Chelsea. Former Manchester City man. We sold him for £40 million in the summer. How important is that sale here? Is Cole Palmer going to come back and haunt Manchester City? Going to be Cole Palmer up against Ederson. How many times in training will have these two been training with each other from the spot? Mind games. Cole Palmer doesn't need me to say, but he needs to score this if Chelsea want something from this game. It's Palmer up against Ederson. Come on, Eddie. Here we go. Palmer scores. Ederson goes the right way. It's a good penalty from Cole Palmer. And it's 4-4 in this Premier League Classic. And I think Mick Sid makes a really good point. Stop selling to our rivals. Coming back to haunt us. Sterling with a goal. Palmer with a goal. It's a good penalty from Cole Palmer. And the thing is, we've had 3 minutes of no play, so there's at least another 6 minutes of this game left. Is there another goal in this game? Jamie Carragher making a good point on commentary there. Said it's been such a good game of football. It's been so entertaining and so attacking. No team deserves to lose this game. But in football, often, there must be a winner. There must be a loser. It's been poor defending today from City. Really poor. Nicolas Jackson comes off and Ugo Chukwu comes on for Chelsea. and says City not played the best of games here, and a draw is a fair result. We'll see. Currently on course for a draw. 8 goals, 4 in the first half, 4 in the second. It was 2-2 at half time, 4-4 here. Nicolas Jackson did go into the book. I'm sure Jack Grealish go into the book as well. Been plenty of yellow cards. Foden under pressure. Referee's pulling his shirt. And then he's choked himself to the ground. And he's giving the ball away. Bernardo, there's support there. Foden working across Philip. He goes down, free kick, referee. Come on. Come on. All the scenes if City score this free kick. Yellow card, Raheem Sterling. Right through Phil Foden. It's a nasty challenge from Raheem Sterling on Phil Foden. Nasty challenge. Unnecessary. A free kick here for City. How far out is it is the question. It's a greasy surface. Get something on target. Time you run well. You could be in for a rebound. I mean, it is in range, this. Our free kick taker, Julian Alvarez, though, he's gone off. He's on the bench, and Kevin De Bruyne are injured, of course. Oh, the scenes if City put this free kick away. Who's taking it? Erling Haaland shoves Cole Palmer away, trying to listen in to what the instructions are and what's happening. Cole Palmer proper trying to shithouse there. No love lost anywhere, really. Raheem Sterling celebrates. Cole Palmer celebrates. Former team. They don't care. City don't care. We've had a Premier League classic. 8 goals. 4 all. Is there late drama? Grealish, Foden, Walker. Walker wants this. Free kick then. What can we do? Walker takes. Walker over the bar. Not to be. 8 minutes are done. There's still a good 4 minutes, I think, left of this game. Maybe more. Sent long by Chelsea. Header won by Josko Gvardiol. Please leave a thumbs up. That'd be much appreciated. We've passed halfway to our 100-like goal. Can we get to 60? That'd be much appreciated. Do leave a thumbs up. Do subscribe as well if you're new around here. What a game of football this has been. A Premier League classic. Gusto with a throw-in. Halfway inside the Chelsea half. Sent long. Of course, Chelsea have chucked the kitchen sink in it. They put a second striker on with Broha, but with them taking Jackson off, they're looking to just try and get more control. It's not the greatest of clearances, that by Chelsea, by Disasi, and City can have a throw-in. Josko Gvardiol will take. He'll go backwards. I think the Chelsea fans now are calling for the final whistle. We're into the 100th minute. Kyle Walker with the ball for Manchester City. There's a good 2 minutes or so left. Bernardo drops the shoulder. Doesn't pay off. Chelsea can have possession. The whistle stopped because they're coming forward. It's a great tackle, though, by City. Bernardo Silva. Referee not even checking his watch because there's that long left. Oh, it's a poor giveaway from Bernardo. Here's Sterling coming forward. What a tackle, Mateo Kovacic against his former team. Sterling's rolling around. He can't believe it. What drama. Kovacic now works it to Phil Foden in the Chelsea half. City come forward. Cucurella makes a great challenge. And there is the full-time whistle. 100 minutes are up. This Premier League classic comes to an end and it finishes 4-4. And Manchester City drop points. But it's been a scintillating game of football. Pochettino's moaning. Everyone's going to be moaning about it. Yeah, Pochettino, I think, is not happy with how long the whistle's been. But I did say I thought there was another couple of minutes left in this game, I thought. And Pochettino's anger stops. He's giving Kyle Walker a big hug. It's been a good game of football. Do you know what? I don't often do this, but Chelsea, It's a cracking game of football. Fully enjoyed this live watch along. We've dropped points, and normally I sit here and I'm really disappointed. It ruins my weekend. I think it's been a really good game of football. As mentioned there by Mick Sid, neither team deserves to lose this game. It's a great show of display. It's how football should be played. And Chelsea is showing everybody in the Premier League you don't have to park the bus always against Manchester City. You can go toe for toe and you can get results against us. It does put City under pressure heading into the international break. We've got Liverpool when we come back. Big game. We need the 3 points. Liverpool need the 3 points. And then 3 points could be the difference between us winning the Premier League and maybe Liverpool winning the Premier League come the end of the season. What a game of football. Thanks so much for everybody for tuning in. Much appreciated. Seamus, you are more than welcome. It says, enjoy the international break. Looking forward to a better City with Kevin De Bruyne and John Stones coming back. We're still away on when they're going to be back. But thank you very much. Do enjoy your international break and a couple of weeks away with Manchester City not here. Of course, we'll have plenty of content to come and digesting all the good big talking points for you guys. I will have my match review out within the next hour for you guys, but I'll probably have more content speaking about this cracking game of football as well, up and some transfer videos as well for you guys to enjoy. Jai Tia, thanks very much for tuning in. Says City's defence terrible today. Not too sure what happened. I think City were happy to go toe for toe, and the intention was shown with Doku starting ahead of Grealish. City wanted to attack and score goals. Chelsea wanted to attack and score goals. We're in for a goal fest. It's exactly what's happened. David, thanks very much for tuning in as well. Mick Sid says, typical Pochettino team always goes toe for toe with Guardiola. Good game of football. Made a good live watch along. And Julie, thanks so much for tuning in. Much appreciated. And Andy and Alison, thanks for tuning in. And thanks for your great comment there. Do have a great weekend as well. And thank you so much for tuning in. As I said, don't forget to leave a thumbs up. That would be much appreciated. Subscribe if you're new around here. Social media links there in the description. Do go and check them out. That would be much appreciated. Do leave your thoughts in the comments below if you're watching this after the game. Finally, I'm just going to go very quickly through the stats because I'm sure it makes a very interesting read. So just having a look at this entertaining game of football. City took the lead for a penalty with Erling Haaland that seems like it was 7 hours ago on 25 minutes. 4 minutes later, Thiago Silva finds the header from the corner at the near post to equalise. Chelsea then took the lead on 37 minutes with Josko Gvardiol giving the ball away. Reece James with the assist squares it across for Raheem Sterling to put the ball into the back of the net. And then Manchester City found an equaliser. Manuel Akanji unmarked from our own set play. Nodded into the back of the net, 2-2 at half-time. We come out 90 seconds into the second half, and Manchester City find another goal through Erling Haaland's backside and an assist for Julian Alvarez. And then Chelsea found another equaliser on 67 minutes, this time Nicolas Jackson it was, putting it into the back of the net after Ederson made an initial save on Conor Gallagher, and that was followed into the back of the net by Nicolas Jackson, following that up quickest. And then Manchester City thought they'd won it at the end, 86 minutes in. Rodri with a deflected goal off Thiago Silva into the back of the net. And then 92nd minute, Ruben Dias, he's played a really good game for City. I gave a commentator's curse saying that Ruben Dias has been City's best defender, sliding in on a greasy wet surface, brings down Broha, the substitute. Penalty given, it was a penalty, and Cole Palmer tucked it away to end this Premier League classic. 4-4 it finishes, point shared apiece. What it means for the table, City go a point clear at the top, so don't get too pessimistic about this. We are a point clear of Liverpool. We beat Liverpool after the international break. Manchester City are 4 points clear of Liverpool, looking rosy. Pressure on Arsenal, pressure on Spurs. We play Spurs next Premier League game after them, smack them as well, beat them, and all of a sudden things are looking very rosy for Manchester City. I said from these next 4 games, Chelsea away, Liverpool at home, Spurs at home, Aston Villa away. I want 10 points. We get 10 points. I think Man City go on to win the Premier League. We've got one of them 10. We haven't lost this game. Could have gone either way in the end. Could have won the game. Maybe should have won the game, but we didn't. It's a Premier League classic. It's a great game of football. We need to build on that now. Beat Liverpool, beat Spurs, beat Villa. Things are looking very rosy for Manchester City as it is now. International break, and we'll be back 13 days' time for Manchester City in Premier League action. Thanks so much for tuning in, everybody. Much appreciated. Boy Racer, It was an excellent game of football, wasn't it? Leslie says, why take Doku off? I think Man City were looking to try and get more control. We didn't seem to. It seemed to be a game that we had control of and then no control of and then control of and then no control of. Topsy-turvy. Anyway, thanks so much for watching. Much appreciated. As I said, within the next hour, I'll have my match review up for you guys to enjoy. So I've been JSGC. Thank you, everyone, for watching. I hope everyone is safe and well. Have a great rest of your week and peace. Ciao for now.